tonight we're unwrapping 4 throwback treasures. Damn it. I'm going to start over. All right, here we go. I got lost in the words.
You got to put more into it.
Welcome back, Nostalgia Hunters. Ho, ho, hold on to your VHS tapes. It's our 1-year anniversary and our annual-ish, maybe Christmas special. Tonight, we're unwrapping 4 throwback treasures. Are 90s Christmas commercials still slaying? Or do they belong in the naughty list? Can Steve Martin's Mixed Nuts crack us up? Or has it... Or has it gone stale? Is Ernest Saves Christmas genuinely magical? Or just eggnog fueled fever dream? And does tracking Santa still spark joy, or is it just digital coal? 4 topics, 4 hosts, 1 question. Cool or just nostalgia? Grab your cocoa or your eggnog. Dim those mini lights, and let's find out if these holiday classics still jingle, or if they've officially jangled their last.
All right. Wow.
All right, I guess we're ready to go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
That ho 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 sounded like you were counting ho.
Ho, ho,
I got hose.
Okay. All right. Let me.
Well, hold on a second.
Hey,
So,
different area coat. Sorry,
I do want to just say...
I don't. I'm married. Sorry.
I do want to just say, for those of you that are watching, if you've been watching us since the beginning, thank you so much. It's our 1-year anniversary. Mm-hmm. I can't believe it's already been 1 year. We've done some really great episodes, I think. And if you've liked what we've put out there, please consider liking our videos, subscribing. We want to grow, and we would appreciate anything that you can toss our way. So thank you.
Including money.
Including money, yeah.
Lots of money.
Maybe we'll start a Patreon. Anyway, so first topic is going to be...
Pay them?
No, what?
A Patreon to pay them?
Sure.
Pay them to come watch our videos?
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. Okay, so first topic is going to be 90s Christmas commercials, and this one's going to be Monaghan.
Yep.
Let's get started.
So pretty much anybody who is old as dirt, like pretty much everybody in this room, and probably a lot of the people that are actually watching.
I don't know. He's kind of a little baby over there. Aren't you still in your early, mid to late 30s?
I'm 38.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
I think you're, what, 37?
I just turned 36.
36.
Okay, so he's the baby.
36-year-old baby. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we
Those of us that got 4 decades on this planet.
I'm in that group. The Christmas commercials, some of them are pretty badass, and just kind of wanted to walk down memory lane a little bit with a few of them. And we're going to be playing them on this side, and they're just rolling through some of these. And okay, so on the screen, for any of you who have ever seen the Uncola 7-Up,
Just give me an OBS thing of this thing, and I can just put it in the video. That way we don't have to worry about it. If you can see the screen, you know, like I'll just put it in there.
Okay,
So we don't have to describe it?
Okay,
Yeah, I'll put it in there.
Okay,
Nice.
yeah, and we probably won't go through too many. But anyway, yeah, the 7-Up spots. I actually had to explain this to my wife, who apparently never even knew what the spots were. Even though she was around in the 90s and she knows the commercials and whatnot.
She's
but
a Sprite girl, isn't she?
I guess so. I don't know. But
Well, isn't it also
but
7-Up doesn't exist anymore?
7-Up does exist.
What are you talking
I thought
They
7-Up
are-
died.
Maybe they're owned by Pepsi or something like that.
Yeah,
but no,
they're
they
owned by
absolutely
something.
exist.
I thought they
I
rebranded.
literally have 7-Up. Some
Oh,
brand.
no, I know what you're talking about. They're,
thought
oh, God, they're called something else now.
Mellow Yellow or something.
No, Mellow
not-
Yellow is
not-
like Mountain Dew.
But they've
That's
got
like
a different
Squirt or
name.
not Squirt.
No, you're thinking about Starry.
Starry. That's what I'm
Starry
thinking of.
is rebranded, not 7-Up. It's rebranded something else.
Sierra Mist.
Sierra Mist.
That's
it.
it.
Yeah,
Oh,
there it
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
So, we had a little side quest there. We had to get that settled out. But anyway, yeah, 7-Up, we're looking at this Uncola commercial, and they had a lot of like flavors, pretty much. I think they had some sort of cherry flavor and whatnot during Christmas. It was pretty much exclusive to that time. But otherwise, you pretty much just got your regular 7-Up in your diet. And, you know, the spot guys were super popular back then and were pretty fun. There was also a very good Sega Genesis, and they made one for the Super Nintendo too.
Oh yeah, they had a game with them, didn't they?
Called Cool Spot. And it was actually
that.
pretty badass. And it was one of the few licensed games that was legitimately good. So
I always remember them make 7-Up yours. Not a Christmas thing, but I always remember that.
Yeah.
I had a friend who wear that shirt to high school and got sent to the office.
Of course.
And then one of the commercials, I actually remember this one quite a little bit. There's a commercial of a lady that is walking around a Blockbuster, pretty much just kind of advertising for Blockbuster. And I remember seeing this all the time back in the day. It was just like a holiday season's greeting sort of thing from Blockbuster. And then, of course, you know, half the commercials have a fireplace behind them and whatnot. So they're very, I noticed they're very cozy.
They're all, I was going to say the same. They're all the 90s commercials. They're all cozy.
Like, if you just sit here and just sort of watch a bunch of them, there's just like, that's not, it's like,
well, they've
wrap
got
me in
that
a
like
warm
vintage
blanket.
blur to it that just adds to the coziness. It's like, oh, I'm almost asleep while watching it. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, that wasn't intentional.
No,
that was the technology
yeah,
at the
but
time.
that's how they ended up. Like,
Yeah, I mean, these looked better back then because they're
Not that
because
much
these
better.
because
Well,
a
yeah,
lot
these are-
of a lot of these have been our VHS tapes were recorded from somewhere and probably not at the highest quality, and then imported improperly because importing VHS stuff to modern digital much harder than you think. You need actually very specialized equipment to be able to do it proper, or you end up with this. Pretty much, which doesn't look great. I'm just kind of rolling through a few of these here. Captain Crunch. Did any of you guys ever actually eat Captain Crunch?
oh yeah.
Like, I had it a few times,
Yes,
but
did
it was
enjoy
like,
it.
it was one of those things. I think my mom would pick it up on sale, and
You never liked it?
it was
Oh,
okay.
dude.
It was fine. But they had the Christmas Crunch, and this upset me every single year because it looks so good. Because it doesn't look like regular Captain Crunch, which is boring as hell. And this finally looks good, and it tastes the same.
Oh,
It was
the
such a-
little things you add to it don't really do it?
I never
Never
thought they
had the
tasted-
Christmas Crunch. I had the regular Captain Crunch and like the berries and like peanut butter crunch, all this kind of stuff. Because my mom always bought that crap for a while until she realized I don't like this. Because with Captain Crunch, to me, like you had to you fill the milk and everything in the bowl, and you sit there. If you immediately start eating it, you tear the roof of your mouth up.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to wait and wait.
Well, you can't
and
wait too long.
and you can't wait too
Can't
long,
wait too
or you're
long.
eating some nasty mushy crap. You have about 30 seconds to inhale the fucking bowl at the right time to make it okay.
I
got pretty
struggled-
good at
and still just okay.
I've struggle bus with that myself.
I don't know.
My technique was have milk in the bowl and add as you go.
oh,
My
add as you
technique
go.
became,
Crunchy.
Mom,
Yeah.
stop buying this shit.
Oh.
Get better cereal.
Oh, we gotta talk about this.
Yeah. Oh
Coca-Cola,
yeah. We'll go back.
Look at
here.
that.
There's
The
a bu-
18 wheelers that
there's-
actually look like 18 wheelers.
Coca-Cola was the king of Christmas commercials.
Oh, yeah.
In my
Oh,
opinion,
yeah.
like they were amazing with the stuff they would come up with that was just so timeless. Like, you know, even just watching a semi truck, a delivery truck, like who would think like that? Oh, that's gonna be Christmas or
Right.
cozy. But look how they have it lit up with all those
lit
like
up
little
and a
halogen lights
huge
off
train of them.
and that's an actual real train of them. Like,
Well, do
that's,
you know why all this kind of came to be, though?
Oh, no.
Do you have some
So,
insight?
from what I understand, Coca-Cola for a long time always had a huge dip in sales during the winter. People weren't drinking it as much because they was so associated with the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So they started going hard on like trying to make Coca-Cola associated with winter with those polar bears, and
Winter
all these
Olympics.
commercials, and all this stuff to try to get Coca-Cola to be like a winter thing. And now, yeah, you have these classic commercials that everybody remembers.
well, now you're ruining it for me. Now that I know it's just all
It's capitalism.
motivated by
I made it
capitalism.
all
Well,
up.
I mean, all this is capitalism. Oh, and here's our CGI bears that were not made with AI.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember this.
These
one.
were adorable back in the day. The little polar bear cubs, and there's mom being like, "Oh, you guys are trying so hard," and then helps them out. These commercials just warm my heart, and I absolutely
bring you right back.
I loved them. Like when I was going through these earlier today. I was watching with my wife. And we're just like, oh, like that was, just stuff like that is just so good. And I don't know if it's because maybe you guys are the same, because everything's streaming now, right? So we don't see nearly as many
Don't see
commercials.
as much. Nope.
Yeah.
And the ones you do see are
Not those of us that
so,
pay for no ads.
Well, a lot of times you pay for no ads and you just get, like, if it's during live events, you just get a black screen.
It's like, I'd rather be watching a commercial.
I would rather have a commercial than I would. So I don't even pay for.
I wouldn't care about the ads as much, but like you end up seeing the same ad 500
That's
million
what I
times
was-
in a row. So I'm just like, I'll pay the extra $5.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say. Is they're so targeted that they don't try to sell me Coke anymore. They're like, oh, this guy doesn't.
He's
buy
never
this.
searched for Coke online, so he must not like Coke.
Yeah, I've not seen a Coke
He doesn't
ad
like
in
Coke.
any streaming one. It is very much like, right? Like it's very much, here's your search history, and we're going to target you with the 5 things you searched in the last week.
Yeah.
And you get ads for that.
Yep.
So there is no like ad spot that is just sold for everyone.
Oh, Cookie Crisp.
There were
Man,
so
I
many
forgot about that
cereal
cereal.
commercials.
I forgot about Cookie Crisp.
Literally
That
a
is
bowl of
not-
cookies, yeah.
That is not a thing anymore. And I
Yeah,
used
it
to
is.
get it. Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I guess I
think
don't remember.
it may have disappeared for a while, but I've seen it
Cookie
recently.
Crisp is back.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure.
There's no way it tastes like it did.
Like,
in the 90s.
because Marcy and I, we still.
I never had it.
We're big kids, so we'll still end up buying like Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Fruit Loops. So,
Dude,
and
Frosted
I've never
Flakes,
seen Cookie
man,
Crisp
that's
in
my
the
jam.
aisle. But
no, I was over here. I was like, who doesn't like Coke? And like nobody was looking at me when I did that. I was like, oh.
$2.99. $2.99
Oh, back
for
then.
Domino's Pizza. Wow.
Do you
Food was
see a
affordable.
difference in, because I was trying to find this, and this is like blatantly researching because I didn't grow up here to see all these commercials.
I was actually
Of, like-
here in just a second. I was going to allow you to talk
Yeah.
about like what did
I was
you
going to
remember?
allow you to talk.
allow
me
you to
to
talk.
talk,
This is
all
me
right.
sherping this part of the. I remember
Yeah,
10
yeah.
minutes.
All right. 'Cause my question was because I was trying to look up that there is a market difference in 80s and 90s, where 80s they were still very worried about the product and less sentimentality, and 90s it was more it'll be sentimental, a story, or like, and at the end pivot is like Coke kind of thing. Like the polar bears have nothing to do with Coca-Cola, and in the end, there's just a Coke bottle put down.
They try to pull in a bit of an
So
emotion
it's like
and everything
just
to it.
make everything about, make it as sweet as possible, and then just put a product at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a difference there. They also say like 90s are also somewhat nostalgic, trying to pull on nostalgia also
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where 80s was more like, hey, there's this product
There's this
is here.
new thing.
Here's a
Yeah.
new thing, and here's a deal. Here's where we're at. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of marketing.
Mm-hmm. No, I think I agree. That was definitely the difference between the decades. I
Maybe
would
that's
say.
why I like the 90s commercials so much, because I did watch a lot of the 80s
And the
commercials.
90s commercials have less of the, hey, at the beginning of the commercial.
Oh God. Call out to the upcoming Ernest
So
thing, but
many
yeah.
cereal commercials. That cereal was
Fruity Pebbles,
So
man. This
big.
is just making me want a big old bowl of Fruity Pebbles right now.
That's
and
another
Cocoa
one
Pebbles.
that has a certain amount of time to eat it. Except you don't have to
Oh,
yeah.
wait for it to get right. You start immediately,
immediately,
Yeah.
on
and
that.
then you have
Yeah.
to make sure you get through it fast enough.
Or
Yeah.
take Andy's direction of just pouring it in a little bit at a time.
I'm glad there's other sane people out there who eat cereal.
I
the
will
same
say though,
way.
Cocoa Pebbles, if you do let it sit for a while, then the
It
milk
turns
gets
all
really
chocolate.
good.
I actually, I had learned to. Oh, this is my wife's favorite commercial.
Yeah.
The bells, the Hershey's
Classic.
Kiss bells.
Yeah.
It is pretty
Well,
much a
and
classic.
they still play this one today. Although I think
Yeah.
like they've up-resed it.
Yeah,
I think
they've
you were talking
definitely-
about that
yeah.
earlier.
Yeah. But no, back to the cocoa or crisp or cocoa pebbles. Yeah, I would absolutely allow those to get mushy, and I learned how to eat that mushy just because I wanted the chocolate
The chocolate
to
milk.
go with
wait,
it. So I was
who
okay
we
with it.
missed?
Wait,
Look what it is.
What was it? Who
Bryan
was it?
Cranston?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Brian
Yeah,
Cranston.
yeah. We were watching earlier. I was like,
Casey
you're gonna
Casey
sell
Penny?
you're gonna sell meth soon.
Is that Malcolm in the Middle years?
I
Is
think
it
that was
maybe?
Before that, I would
That might have been before that, or maybe
Before,
right
okay.
during the start of that. I don't
yeah.
know. This is sometime in the '90s. So, and I think Malcolm in the Middle was sometime late '90s, right?
Right, yeah.
Or
Is
early
that
2000s?
Adam
I thought it was
Sandler?
early 2000s.
It might be, or it might have crossed over. I don't know. I didn't really watch a ton of Malcolm in the Middle, so it was definitely at
didn't
least
watch
late
any of it,
'90s. Yeah. So I stopped watching a lot of that TV, like a lot of those shows around the late '90s.
See, these guys are actually showing prices also.
Yeah,
And
a
some
lot
of
of
these
these places
And just
do
makes
show
you depressed at how much
yeah,
inflation
it
is.
is. It is
$9.99. Feed your whole family. I can't feed myself for that anymore.
Nope. It's pretty awful.
I literally bought a lunch for myself today, and it was $20 at a fast food drive-thru at Taco Bell.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
My God, what did you order?
Taco
Marcy and I
Bell?
A
both.
cheesy gordita crunch,
Uh-huh.
a quesadilla. They had some new quesadilla wrap thing, so I wanted to try it. My soda, and like nacho fry thing where they had to put like some chicken on it or something like that. That's it. $20.
See, Wendy's used to
It
be
was
the
like 21 and change or something like that.
Wendy's used to be the expensive fast food place, but we bought something earlier tonight. It was like $25 for both of us. I'm like, well, that's actually cheap for fast
nowadays.
food fast food these days. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Oh, M&M's.
Yeah, I
This
don't know.
is my
They-
M&M commercial.
they
Show
all-
me the real one.
They,
I don't know
they
that.
always
Show
I don't
me
know
the
who
good
this guy
one.
is though. I saw this earlier and I
I've
was like,
seen
I
him
don't
in
know.
things. I don't know his
who
name,
he
but I've
is.
seen
There,
him.
yeah, the next one. This one. This
one?
is
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
This is the
This
commercial.
is another one that's like come back in recent years. I've seen it on
Yes.
TV.
He does exist.
They do exist.
Yeah, this one's actually been on for a long time. I think they've even re-shown this.
That has to have
multiple times.
been my favorite Christmas commercial of all time.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. We actually kind of missed it. I saw it up there. There was the Eggo one where the kid basically brought, instead of giving cookies to Santa,
Oh,
gave him Eggos, and then Santa was fighting with Elf, like, let go of my Eggo. And I just remember that one for whatever reason. I always liked it quite a little bit.
This one was creepy.
Dude, this one is
That
creepy.
I don't remember
was
seeing
that?
The
that.
MasterCard one?
Oh, I don't remember seeing that.
Are those animatronics?
I remember MasterCard commercials, but I don't remember those, like, oh yeah, and here's Ronald McDonald. Oh,
God, you remember Ronald McDonald commercials? They don't have those.
they don't have
anymore.
these anymore. Well, currently in this commercial, watch this. She's gonna run away, and he pretty much just gaslights her into not running away. It is kind of hilarious.
I hear where you're from is really nice too.
It's okay.
Yeah, because you got that basketball hoop over your
Oh
garage.
yeah, I remember this.
And
Wait,
your
how'd he
back
bounce the
porch.
snow like that?
It's Ronald Magic. Shut up.
I made that
Don't
at
question
summer
it.
camp
Plus, there's that beautiful field.
where I chased butterflies.
He manifested a butterfly? Dude, Ronald McDonald is all powerful.
McDonaldland.
He can do everything, man. He can do everything.
Who's gonna be the snowflake in the school play? Who's gonna feed Mr. Goldfish?
Hey, Ronald, I think I hear my mom calling me.
Yeah, but see, you have to think about it. The only real reason he's trying to talk her into going back home is so her parents continue to take her to McDonald's,
McDonald's.
so they make money.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually care about the kid. He cares about commerce.
Yep. He just needs that kid to be around. And
Hey, no eggnog for you.
oh, are you trying to get the eggnog? Oh,
He's trying to get sloshed.
Turtle. Let's not drink the boozy eggnog. So pretty much that's kind of it for a lot of. There's a lot more McDonald's and some Pizza Hut commercials. However, I would like to hear Andy's perspective on commercials or stuff
Wait,
like that.
where's
You
the
might have seen.
Folgers one?
The what?
The
The Folgers?
Folgers?
Oh, where
With the
the war
incest in
here,
it.
like
Oh,
where
not
the
that-
veteran comes back.
That one was way after the 90s. That
Wait,
was
which
like
one?
2010s.
Which one?
The incesty one,
I don't remember that one.
Wait,
I know-
no.
I didn't.
where like her brother comes
Comes
home
home.
from like the military or something.
And
Well, that's
they-
the one I was talking about. I don't remember anything incesty about it.
Well, because like they look
just
at
thought it
each
was
other very intimately, and then she's like, "You're my present this year." At the end,
Well, she missed him.
Well, see if
Oh,
you
yeah,
see
you
some.
Like I've seen it
Uh,
recently, and I did not think anything incesty about it.
No, is this a SNL or where is
there was
the,
there was also an SNL version that made fun of the
yeah, play the SNL version.
Yeah.
Which one's that?
Just say Folgers
in
SNL.
SNL, yeah.
Okay, Folgers SNL.
Sorry, we're going on a tangent here.
Yep. Oh, here's
That's
the
not-
actual
sorry.
ad, I guess. Folgers.
Oh, no. Oh, shoot.
Where is it? How come it's so hard to find?
Did they like delist it?
Maybe.
Did they delist it?
Or maybe if it's Saturday night.
I think it's the first one. Just play it.
You think?
Yeah. We're playing it in the episode.
I must have the wrong house.
Sister? Oh, I missed you so much. They waited up all night for you, you know.
It's a long way from West Africa.
Maybe it is. Maybe.
Coffee.
Is this the original?
Yeah.
So far, it's the original.
Brought you something from far away.
Really? Oh.
They just have a real
Look at
connection.
this. Look at this.
What are you doing?
You're my present this year.
What? Okay. Okay. What is going on? The parents even like we.
All right, this is not the commercial.
You have to leave.
What? What are you guys talking about?
We know what's going on here. We know you're trying to each other.
Brothers and sisters don't look at each other like that.
He sent you to West Africa for a reason, Ryan, to separate you and your sister.
You're crazy! Oh, yeah? What's this?
He's my present this year.
Okay.
Oh
I'm your son, and I'm in love with your daughter.
Oh, Ryan, what is in that box?
What's in the box, Ryan?
It's mine.
Give it. Unbelievable.
Emily, I think that we have so much in common because we grew up together. And I just want to wake up.
This is definitely a side.
Emily, will you make me the happiest brother?
As I'm watching this, I'm like, I have seen this before.
Oh no! It's funny how they spliced the original commercial and then did that with it.
So I think that's not actually SNL. That's why it didn't.
Yeah,
it's
that's
probably
probably.
not
But
that's why we didn't
that
find it.
definitely was pretty funny.
Oh, my
The
God.
I mean,
extended-
I get how people can take it that way, but never. I've seen that commercial like so many times. Never once did I view it as incest. Not once did I view them as like looking at lingering wrong.
Well,
Right as I watched it there, I'm like,
once you see this
I
joke,
watched it there. That was pretty.
Once
From
you
the
see
first
this
time
cut.
I saw that commercial, I was like, "That is a weird look she's giving."
So we were trying to talk about commercials I might have seen in India. We don't. The thing with India is we don't do such homey, cozy commercials. They're all either funny or like sarcastic or very not dark, but very edgy, like sharp, witty ones.
do they do in the commercials like they do with the movies where there's like a lot of dancing? Do they do it in commercials too?
If they're kind of satirizing it sometimes, yeah.
Well, okay,
But
so
not
and
too
also
much.
Christmas is not a huge thing either.
Well,
right?
yeah, but like I'm assuming like.
But they may have
no-
like there's maybe a major holiday or there's holiday.
So
Wall
they still
here,
do
yeah.
the holiday season because they can easily kind of put some Christmassy themes around stuff.
Yeah.
And mostly do sales. It's driven by that.
It's
but yeah.
capitalism.
But, yeah.
And that's why
All
the
of
whole,
it's capitalism.
the whole world has adopted Christmas regardless.
Well,
of-
here's the thing. So if you go to any Commonwealth country, like Australia and other places, Boxing Day is like their Thanksgiving sale, like Black Friday, which is the day after Christmas. So they actually, their ads are more pivoted to like $9.99 for this, 10% off if you buy the fridge right now. Washer, it's like $500. Like, so they just, it's more driven by that, very commercial.
You never got any cozy commercials like a lot of these
No,
are.
for other festivals, yes.
Like family, like very family driven orientated.
Well, it is
Yeah,
funny you
fair
talk about like other countries, like everyone's just adopted Christmas over. If somebody can in the comments correct me where I'm have this mistaken, but KFC became like a thing, I guess, in Japan, and like what is that guy's mascot?
The Colonel.
Colonel, yeah, the Colonel,
yeah.
whatever. Like apparently he is like their Santa Claus.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, they've made him like not like the regular Colonel Sanders. Like
Yeah, and then like people like go to
caricature,
KFC for like
Yeah.
the holiday dinner and stuff like that with the Colonel. and
I
all
think
that
you're
stuff.
right. Yes,
Yeah.
I don't know if they think of him as their Santa Claus, but like KFC's really big.
Just it's
for
just
Christmas.
it's just got they've done the marketing spin and
Yeah.
like, turned him into like essentially a Santa Claus. It's Santa Claus adjacent or something like that. So, but
Leanne Rhymes. Oh my god.
But anyway, yeah, that was I guess our '90s Christmas commercial segment of the podcast. Just kind of strolling down
Trip
memory
down
lane.
memory lane,
Just
yeah.
a quick
This
little
has been
trip
a
down.
great section for those listening on a podcast form and will not have the visuals.
Yes. A lot of you might at least. That's why I was trying to describe what was on the screen a little bit, just so because some of you guys would be like, "Oh yeah, like I remember that one," because some of these are like most people have seen them or any like they just have. So, but
How do
anyway,
we even rate So Christmas commercials. So when you
how do you want to rate
like,
this?
If you, no, it's your decision. Go ahead.
What's that? How do we want to rate? Honestly, I would just say go with like just rate. Like, do you think they're like, are we all full of shit? Are they nostalgic or are they actually legitimately good? And me personally, I just fuck it, we'll just go with this. Me personally, after watching a lot of these commercials, I wouldn't have minded watching more. They were cozy. They're comfortable. We don't really get those anymore. And partly it's because of just the nature of how entertainment has evolved and like with streaming and stuff like that. So companies aren't getting they're getting more in your face trying to do stuff to like, hey, look at me, as opposed to like a lot of these kind of almost family orientated stuff like that are just kind of cozy, especially the Christmas ones. And so I think they're still awesome. I think
Well, I
they're
have a
great.
theory about all that. First, I'll just put this little tidbit in your head. Is there a commercial you can think of in the last 15 years where you'd be sitting here and watching YouTube videos of that commercial that you actually gave a crap about?
Nope.
There's one that I want to put in your head. The other thing is, like, think about it. Back in the day when everything you watched had commercials, unless you had like cable, what you would typically do is when the show ends, or not show ends, but like it pauses for commercials, that's when you go to the bathroom, go get a drink, you go to blah, blah, blah. Making commercials that were engaging, that made you want to actually stay in the seat and actually watch the commercial, is how they could get you to maybe come spend your money there because you remember that ad. It's the same thing that like when Apple did their weird little like, dystopian future thing that people still talk about today. So if you make an ad that makes people want to watch it and it sticks in their head, you might get business out of it, as opposed to the ads nowadays where you just like, go away. Or I'll pay you the extra $5.
They're just gonna pay to like make you watch it 30,000 times in the next hour anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not as big of a, and that was kind of where I was going. I was like I would absolutely just like, these are fine, these are great, I love them. I wish we actually still lived in that era where that was a priority, was to try to like get engagement, have people sit and they come back from the bathroom early and like, oh, I love this commercial. Like that.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, not this shit again. That's the reaction you get for a lot of that stuff. So
put essentially more effort into it. Like I would say commercials like that. Well, I don't necessarily like every single one of those commercials or even remember every single one of those commercials. Yeah. Commercials like that, I would definitely say are absolutely still cool. I would be less inclined to pay the extra $5 a month to avoid the commercials if I got a large variety like that.
I would,
because if you're targeting me all the time with whatever I've searched for, I don't search the internet for much. So I get the same commercial a million times in a row.
I go to the store and buy the same shit, and the online search algorithm has no clue what I actually buy because I don't have to search for it.
Yeah.
So they don't know.
Yeah.
So unless they get my data of what I'm paying for, so you kind of go down that one really targeted rabbit hole, and it just is terrible.
It gets really annoying. So like, if you can just like blast me with all kinds of variety of different commercials, like maybe I'd be okay with it because I'm not seeing the same thing over and over. But so I'd still say they're cool.
Cool.
I'll add to that. I think they are cool, and there are two things I want to say about that. First, Christmas in particular, there's a lot of special products that come out during Christmas, like the special freaking Captain Crunch cereal and stuff like that. I wouldn't even know that existed. I don't go to the store. My wife goes to the store. And so I wouldn't even know if that existed if I didn't have commercials to tell me it existed.
So I wouldn't know to tell her to put it in the cart.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of these were very much around like food products, cereal and stuff like that. And I found that very useful in the 90s to be able to tell my mom, hey, I want the new Christmas Hershey's or whatever.
I want the new Captain Crunch that doesn't look, boring. Give me the Christmas stuff. And
all berries.
All right.
Excuse me.
Andy?
Hold on. I'm not done. Jeez, man.
I'm trying to keep this moving, man. You can't just keep talking on a podcast.
Oh, jeez. Okay, well, I had two things I wanted to say. So that was the first one, and like you don't get as much of that nowadays. So that's why it was cool. Second one is we're already seeing this trend, especially with Coca-Cola, of people going towards freaking AI slop ads.
Yeah.
And it's just going to get worse and worse. And I wish people actually put effort into the commercials like they did back then in the 90s. And that's why they're cool.
I've honestly not even seen whatever commercial you're talking about because I don't really ever see any commercials.
We'll have to pull it up because the first one that they came out with, which was actually last year, was horrendous. I can't even believe they put that on the TV. This year's is better, but it's still obviously
Still
AI
looked a little
slot.
AI fever dream.
Yeah.
Like it was weird. I watched it a couple days ago. I'm glad they pulled it down. Ugh.
Okay, Andy.
Yeah, I pay the extra $5 a month on every single thing. So
I mean, clearly everyone's gone cool, and I think I agree. And for my reasoning, it's just I love Christmas a lot. It's like a really cool season where the theme of
cool,
the
literally,
entire-
because it gets cold and wintry.
Oh, trust me, I was growing up and I was sad. I was sad I could never have a snowy Christmas because I lived in India and it's like nice temperature at that time. It's not
Why
that
we
cold.
brag about having
Yeah.
nice temperatures all the time?
And so I actually love having snow around and it being a white, snowy Christmas. So for me, it's like the ambiance is because the entire town, everyone is in the same kind of decorations. Everyone's wearing red, green, and those Christmassy colors.
Almost like a community feel to the season, you mean?
Yeah. So we all feel very similar. You go into a store, it feels similar. There's Santa out there asking for money, but
Salvation Army.
I mean, in today's times, even Santa needs some extra dough.
Yeah, that ain't even going to kids. That's just going to him.
tariffs got to Santa too. So
He's like, I've been doing this as a charity for years. This is my turn to collect.
so
Rent is due, bitches.
so the
The rent is too damn
TV,
high.
So watching, I think it's just our love for the TV that used to be, where like what made it Christmas in TV was the commercial is all switched over into the world of like they're making snowman. It's this you're buying this. Coca-Cola's got a special can that is Christmassy.
And also back then, Christmas commercials didn't start coming out before freaking Halloween was even over too.
Right.
Nowadays,
Like
like
all this-
especially Home Depot is like one of the worst offenders. They'll run their Christmas commercials before even Halloween.
A month before Halloween, you will start seeing all the Christmas stuff in store. Actually, even before that, you'll start like even in Home Depot, you'll start seeing like all that stuff.
Yeah,
And
I
it's just,
started seeing stuff about the apparently Christmas R2D2. It's like life size that I've still not gone to the actual store and looked at. Started seeing ads for that in September. Like
It's
people actually
ridiculous.
had bought it at Home Depot and like were showing it and everything. I'm like, wow.
So so now the streaming ads I get are mostly when blah blah, which is like one of the side effects is you might die kind of side effect. And I'm like, I'm not that old. Why am I getting this ad? And it's just this thing about someone having some disease or something, or like, hair fall. That's what they assume people
I don't
in
get those
30s
ads. I
or
don't know what
30s.
you're talking about.
Do you have
Yeah,
depression?
exactly.
I think that's a you
Take
thing.
this depression medicine. And by the way, the side effect of this is depression. What?
Yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah,
depression
that's-
and death.
Yeah. Like I've literally seen like one of those like you depression and suicidal thoughts.
No,
and one of
it's
the
like-
side effects is depression and suicidal thoughts. I'm like, does that just mean the
It's-
pill doesn't work?
It's hims or hers where they're like, you're losing hair or you're depressed and your things
Sex
don't
drive
work.
is
Everything.
yeah, all those
We
frickin'
sell
Hims
you
commercials.
everything. And I'm just like looking at it and going,
Like, what is in my search history?
yeah, exactly. Most of the time, me and my wife are thinking, what in the search history made it think we need
Right,
this? Like,
right.
Well,
so
not even just your search history.
Yeah.
What have you been talking about? I cannot be the only one here that
No.
has never searched for something.
It just
started
literally
talking
happened.
about it,
Google
and then
listed.
started getting ads, and I'm like, I had never once.
It
searched
literally
for this.
happened this week with my wife talking about
I've
the
had that
same
happen
thing.
so many times.
And then the ad showed up in the TV, and we are just like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So ads now
They're
just make us
listening
feel
to
creepy.
you.
Well, it's kind of weird though. Is like we're all pretty much at least fairly knowledgeable about software and development. So you would think that somebody
75% of us, yeah.
is more into like like somebody would have taken that apart and found out like the trigger, like even like hooked up something where it would be looking for like they'd be able to analyze it and find out like, okay, it is actually listening actively on, and here's the proof, and then something like that. So I'm curious, like this is a completely side tangent, but I am curious about if there is any sort of validity to that with
There's
some
gotta be,
devices.
because think about it.
Because we all think it, but is that one of those things that we just think and there is coincidences in life? Or is it actually doing it? And I've never seen anybody that's shown any kind of proof that any of our stuff was actually listening to us. However, it would not surprise me either. What's that?
All right. For the least technologically inclined, let's just go with logic. If it's not listening to me all the time, how would it know that when I go, hey Siri,
You're just applying.
It's listening for the
You're-
wake word.
Yeah, it's
right?
basically yeah.
At
it's
least
li-
that's what. They
But that's
tell
what I'm
you.
saying.
what they
That
tell
means
you.
it's listening.
But that
all
doesn't
the
mean
time.
it's
but
sending
that,
it over
but
to
that doesn't.
Google
Yeah,
or-
that doesn't mean it's
Yeah.
actually taking a transcript of what you're saying and turning it.
Oh
into
no, that's
search
true. You just
history,
said,
like
"Is
stuff
it
like
listening?"
that.
And I was like, "Well, yes,
No,
it's
well,
listening."
you're being-
so sorry, I didn't know. I realized that's what you were going with.
No, yeah, that's what I meant. And but no, you're actually just kind of applying Occam's razor. It's like the simplest explanation is, yeah, they are.
Yeah, well, no,
So
they are
it's-
listening.
yeah,
whether they're doing the
but
other
no,
part,
it's
which
like
you
I mean,
meant,
those
that I
are
don't
true.
know.
Those are true
They
words.
also,
but,
well, whenever you look at any of the the agreements for what you do, because Facebook before used to ask for microphone access. I think they removed it because they got caught doing it, but they were listening at one point. I think the Meta Facebook app was,
does
and
not
then
surprise me.
what has improved is our you can go into your phone now and pick an app and say don't let it use my microphone. If
Oh
it's
yeah,
not
they
meant
all
to.
have that.
So
And-
now they've improved privacy security a lot more, which is why you should blast just general Christmas ads at people and stop trying to target me. You're so bad at it. I've bought 0 things from targeted ads.
Yeah, I would stop
talking to
keeping.
you not bought anything from hymns.
Like even on YouTube,
Yeah.
I would stop clicking the skip button if it wasn't targeted ads and they're actually engaging ads on a variety of subjects.
Exactly.
But no, probably on my YouTube, on my phone, probably 70% of what I get is the like one of these stupid games where you're like running and you're like shooting at something and it's always like, oh my God, I'm already being run over. I need to go build this tower right now. And oh, you think this game is fake? No, it's real. Download it now. And I'm like, I don't even play mobile
It is
games. Leave
so
me alone.
weird listening to people's targeted ads. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we should do a whole episode
Yeah,
about it.
yeah,
Targeted ads.
What ads did you get
Like,
this
what-
week?
Yeah.
Will anyone say cool? No.
All right. Since we have three
Did we
more,
get-
since we have
did you
three
get-
more topics,
Since we did 15 minutes of tangent,
Did we get his
should move
vote?
on.
It's cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just want to
yeah.
make sure.
I thought you were
Yeah,
saying it's
I
cool.
think-
All right. So next topic, mixed nuts, which is Andy.
So, I'll this is a heated one, guys. Guys and girls. So, when I was
Guys and dolls.
a little kid, I thought it was Guns N' Roses. No, sorry. I thought
No,
we were
guys
going
and dolls, the plague. You
I
said
know.
guys and girls.
So, when I was a kid, this random movie, which I think I saw it for 3 years in a row. I was so little that I remembered only patches of it, and it had transformed in my head a little. But going back, I was still surprised that their office was pretty much actually a little apartment. Fully, I thought in my memory, oh, they were in an actual office, and then we come back and it's like, oh, it's mostly a little apartment, and they just put a couple of desks around in there, and there were weird parts of it mixed in. I remember the skaters. I remember the completely wrong ending. I thought they swapped the tree with the skaters, and that's how the movie ended. And I was waiting for that hijink to happen, and then it went completely weird from there, right? And I remember him
They
talking.
killed
to
the
guy
whatever strangler.
So I was like, hey, I saw this 3 times. It's probably Christmassy season. They played it. So it must have been nice. So I was like, I'm going to revisit it. So I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's Nora Ephron. I was like, oh, this is probably, Madeline Kahn. This is like great. Rob Reiner. This is great cast. I didn't realize any of that. Knew none of. I only knew Steve Martin at that time. Nobody else in there. Rita Wilson. None of them I knew.
Oh, there's
Right.
John Stewart in it.
John Stewart.
Yeah.
Right? And so
crying out
I brought
loud.
this topic
Liv
up.
Schreiber, like all kinds. I was
Yeah,
like,
Liev
there's some
Schreiber.
big names
that was,
in this.
That was before Liev Schreiber was actually big.
Yeah. And I have so much to say. I think he was the best thing about the movie is that he played really well.
he was like,
he
was
played
in it.
so well. But yeah, so I thought, this is a Christmas movie that probably down the memory lane for everyone here. And the messages I got for having made everyone watch this movie.
I didn't say anything.
Mike has the most restraint, so he didn't say anything.
I just wanted to know.
say what your comment was. Go ahead.
I specifically asked him what his reason was for picking this particular movie.
And why were you so worried about it? What was your comment?
Huh?
What was your comment about?
Parker Posey and
Oh well, no, it wasn't.
Juliet.
It wasn't that. That was actually different than that comment. I just do not like Juliette Lewis or Parker Posey. And immediately, within 30 seconds of the start of this movie, two actors that I absolutely do not like in virtually. Juliette Lewis, she's okay in a couple of things, but Parker Posey,
I've never liked her either.
She's just always graded.
Well, she's
like,
such a
on me.
minor character.
She is, and she was fine.
Let me rephrase that. I don't know her, so I've never liked her. The movies that I've seen her in,
Her
I've
acting,
not seen her. I've
yeah.
not liked her work.
That's same thing as like on. I just don't like her act. She's probably great. They're probably all like you'd probably be able to go have a beer with them. That's awesome. But as far as their body of work though, always. And within 30 seconds, I was just bam right there. Juliette loses, and then bam, Parker Posey comes in. I'm just like, oh,
But luckily, you only see her for about 15 seconds at the beginning and then 15 seconds at the end.
Very end. Yeah. But anyway, that prompted me like just the first like probably 15, 20 minutes of the movie. I'm sitting there just going, Andy, why are you having us watch this? But I didn't want to tip my hand, but I had to ask the question. So
my one word for the movie
I will
is
say I
have
literally
so
turned
much
to Becca and
thoughts
was like,
about it.
I'm mad at Andy for making me watch this shit.
Yeah, I have so much thoughts. I wrote so much. I didn't even need AI to make notes for me. Like I was like,
He's like, I was furious
so
typing.
much. The one word I had for this movie was just whiplash and like complete confusion on what it is trying to be. Because this is based on a French movie, if you knew or not.
Yep.
And that was based on a French play, which is complete farce absurdism. There is no... They don't try to play sweet. They don't try to play cozy. They don't try to make an arc where they have a happy ending for everyone, like a full cozy Christmas movie. They don't attempt any of that. It is just complete madness and complete farce of like making fun of Christmas and hiding the dead body. And their ending is the dead body is thrown into the zoo to be eaten by the carnivores, and it accidentally gets thrown into the herbivore kind of zone or something. So their ending is like they just go completely dark comedy, completely farce.
Yeah.
Like they're like nothing. So there is no tonal madness.
I knew about those.
Yeah.
But I am curious. So those ones are dark comedy, but whoever wrote and made this one just decided to leave that comedy part out of it.
I mean, okay, they were trying, but they were also
Trying though.
They were
It
trying
felt
to-
like Steve Martin was phoning it in like a mother, like he didn't want to be there.
On an individual level, it seemed like, and actually I don't agree with that. It felt
Really?
like they were being directed to do what they did, and they all did a good job in the way they were being directed, including Steve Martin.
Well, that's assuming they were being directed that
could
way.
see-
I don't know if they were. or
But
not.
he did some classic Steve Martin. He even toned himself down just a little bit to be kind of like a more realistic character, I guess. And so I thought he did a great job.
He's the one I hate
But
the
is
most the
it-
whole
just to-
movie.
Oh, it's so all over the
Pull
place.
it
I
back
don't know what he's talking about.
to the audience, just to pull it back. This movie got trashed the moment it came out. Complete box office failure. So there
Apparently
weren't.
made
This
$6
isn't
million at the
some.
box
It
office
wasn't
on
a
20 million
mixed
budget.
reception from
We're
mixed
trying to
nuts.
see if it
was-
maybe survived towards cult status and feels cool.
I had
again.
never even heard of it
That's-
until you made me.
I'd
watch
never
it.
heard of it. I'd never looked it up. I didn't know what it was, anything like that. And that was
No,
another reason why I
Efron
asked.
spent millions to bury this out of our catalog. Like no one can. We couldn't even get this to stream. He had to go to the library to get the DVD. It was hard to find anywhere. And I'm just like, why is this movie so buried away? And then I watched it, and then I was like, oh.
Well, here's another thing. I'm
Okay.
curious. I would. Do you have any information on when it was filmed? I was
Right
curious.
after, yeah, right next year after Sleepless in Seattle. Yeah.
Why are you bringing up Sleepless in Seattle?
Because Nora.
Nora
That's their
Ephron's
first
previous
gotcha, gotcha.
movie,
Okay,
yeah.
This is
I was
their
thinking about.
second- yeah.
Okay. The reason I ask is like you look at the movies. Like I'm not. He's obviously not always had white hair. But you look at the movies in the few years before this one, he had white hair. This one, he has like dark hair that's slightly graying, and then the movie literally the next year after that, it's fully white again, all white. So I'm like, did they dye his hair
Probably.
during this
Give him a
movie, or
different
I was
look.
curious,
Give him a
like,
different look.
or was it shot like years before he actually went fully
You
white?
know,
and they
I
just
was
went and
wondering the
released it?
same thing because I have never seen him in a movie where he didn't have white hair.
I was about to say, he's like my dad. He
jerk.
probably, I think he had white
Oh,
hair
yeah.
pretty much since he was 20.
Yeah, he's had white hair for a long time.
My
So that's what threw me. I was like,
my father and grandparents all had white hair when they were like in their 20s. Like my dad like was almost fully white-headed when he was like 22, I think.
Yeah.
I have pictures. It's weird. And I think Steve Martin's like that too. He's
no, but I mean,
he's had a
honestly,
long
Steve Martin,
time.
like The only, I think, parts of the film where I felt like he was actually maybe enjoying himself, and again, maybe that's the way he was directed to do it this way, and maybe that's what it was when he was actually doing all the stuff with Liev Schreiber.
Chris, yeah.
Like
Dancing.
that part was actually like kind of like,
dance.
and then when he walked by and he like grabs him, and he's like, whoa! Like I actually like chuckled at that and everything. But like the whole first 40 minutes of it, he's just like, okay, yeah. It just felt like he didn't want to be there.
Especially in the beginning, he sounded like a freaking robot.
Yeah.
Or like he was
But
trying
again,
to
maybe that's the way he was supposed
imitate
to.
an
That's what the director
autistic
wanted.
person or something. Like, I don't understand. And then like maybe second half of the movie, he kind of settled down, came into his own. But like first half of the movie, it was...
But even so, like,
he's
the way people were reacting to things
jerk.
made no sense.
The entire movie, he was just a jerk.
He was.
I don't know why there was no Efron romance connection between them.
There's no
at
chemistry at all.
He just was like, "Oh, you're fainting. Let me undress you," and then they make out and they come out, and then I'm just like, "What?
Like, why do you like him?" Like,
Well, like none of their motivations make sense. Like the woman, like suddenly decides to have sex with a guy because he said a phrase her husband
That was the
said,
most.
even though she hated him and the dog.
They did her dirty with Madeline Kahn.
I don't know. Okay, I kind of liked that because I thought in my head she was always repressing her lust for him.
Okay.
Yeah, and the way she was doing it was
like
by
the,
outwardly pushing him
I'm
away.
going to be mean to you because I like you.
Yes,
sort of thing.
yes, that's what I was
Then, like,
thinking.
I'm also somebody who like absolutely hates early Adam Sandler. The way the little kid shtick that he always did, he's like, I fucking hate that. And he hammed that shit up.
He ended up being my favorite character.
I was going to
hate
say
him.
he wasn't
Every
the
time he does
worst
that little
thing in the movie.
smile,
I hated him in the beginning because he was very typical Adam Sandler, but like he was the one character who actually recognized Chris as a woman. And like they had a really special connection.
It felt like they had a
he
proper
was so
build-up.
genuine, and like he was just a nice person, and like I don't know, I like
recognizing recognizing whatever the person, Chris or whatever, as a woman, like cool. I mean, we all should be treating people how they want to be treated. That's not going to take away the freaking little me voice he was using, or the stupid smile, or acting like an idiot. You did one thing. You treated her the way she wanted to be treated, but you.
So we're talking about terrible characters here in a movie filled with terrible characters. Who's you guys' opinion? I definitely have a strong one on this. On who is the worst person? Like just worst person in the whole.
Besides the Strangler, or
the husband?
I mean, yes,
the husband.
The husband.
Yeah,
the dead guy. Felix? He's dead.
No, not the dead guy.
Oh, Felix.
Santa
They were
Claus.
married, were they?
Why Felix?
Oh, he showed up. Oh, he's completely abusive dude who showed up with a gun.
He wasn't abusive. Wait a minute.
So he came.
In what way was he
came
abusive?
Back from a jail, and then so he
just wanted to paint murals on streets.
He was a painter, not a very good
if anything was abusive, it was her chasing him down the street with a
showed
gun.
up with a six popper and was trying to get her to come back with him with a gun.
Well, you could argue he
the-
was hitting the heads. Or
It was
something
the
was
dog
wrong with that.
tranquilizer.
So you think he is worse than his wife?
His wife was so. Now maybe it was.
Maybe they deserve it.
And
Shut
her
up.
Absorbed as she was.
towards
Maybe
everything.
they deserve
Literally, nobody else in the whole movie mattered to her.
Yeah.
She didn't care about Madeline Kahn in the elevator. Somehow didn't hear her. Wouldn't open the door when people are banging
that
on
was
the
making me
door.
so mad.
And then decided to just start shooting the gun to get rid of the bullet so Felix couldn't accidentally shoot people. And then, of course, shoots Gary Shandling in the
And
head.
of course, she's.
And
But then in the end, because
and then she not
she's
only doesn't
married.
care about it, she doesn't care about it, but then has the idea to dress him up as the tree to get rid of him. She is by far the worst person as a person, not character like that we're talking about, just worst person is whole movie, and it's not even close.
I
don't
agree.
know.
I think I agree.
I don't know if I'd call it not even close. I might agree that she's the worst person. I don't know if I'd call it not even close, because whatever Steve Martin character name was
it
like to me
Philip or
was
something?
faking his whole like actually caring about people thing and wanting to help people that were suicidal based on his actions. And then you know what really gets my motor running right after somebody's murdered, laying in the living room dead, and a girl's passing out about it. Oh yeah, I'm ready to have sex. That's how he acted.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fucked up.
Yeah, but he didn't just kill somebody and then just do like not even seem to care.
Yeah.
So
No. Steve Martin's character
He,
was
no.
definitely
He
up
didn't
there,
care that
too.
there was a dead
He's-
body. He cared that maybe somebody would find it on him. That's why he just dragged it in the house and then went and had sex with
and
him.
he wiped off the gun.
Wiped off the gun and put it in her hand and then set it back down.
Yeah.
So yes, there is no, and this is a movie filled with terrible people, pretty much, like
Yeah.
just terrible
Well, that's
people.
the kind
I
of
think-
point.
And it's a
So-
Christmas movie that takes place in a suicide hotline house. that's
Beachside,
getting-
beachside,
like, so what do we have
Venice, California.
Except when you're
suicide
inside, then you're in
hotline
New York.
company. Yeah, except when you're inside. Also, at the beginning, I don't know if you caught the cameo, but it was Stephen Wright who called the comedian, stand-up comedian who were.
Oh,
like,
yeah, it was his
I'm gonna
voice.
blow myself,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, click it, and it's like bang, and then and I'm like, oh, I thought, okay, so this is people are just gonna die. It's a dark comedy, and we're not to care for it, right? The opening, I was like cinematically, the framing of him riding the bike.
I actually
going
really
across.
like that. Yeah.
Right.
Opening
And then
was
he's going by all the, people who are supposed to be in the nativity scene. Those guys are along the beach for pictures, who at the end show up together for that payoff picture, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and then the apartment, the whole dance is like perfectly framed and it's happening in between. And I thought, I was like, there's so many good little elements in the movie, but it's just a clash where it doesn't know, am I a happy movie about, holiday? Am I just like chaos and, ensemble cast? Or I'm just like dark comedy and people are going to die and it's going to be fine.
I would argue none of the above out of those options.
Yeah, because it failed at all of them,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
right?
It didn't know.
There was
It didn't
no
pick-
comedy
It
in
didn't
it
pick a lane.
almost
Yeah.
at all.
Didn't pick a
I
lane.
think I went like twice.
Yeah.
The rest of it was just like horrible.
So
I
much-
feel like it was made for a 3-year-old that watches like cartoons, or in a way, because the number of times that people just turned and ran into a fucking wall, I'm like, nobody does that. They're carrying a body and they both happen to run into the wall, even though they see the wall right in front of them and let the body fall on the floor. So like,
So so much of the comedy fell flat because of the delivery and the timing. They were just so.
but it was
way
also like the
Even the-
comedy was like garbage.
the
Like it was comedy that somebody that does not know comedy.
The structure of the jokes, even like, say, here's a weird
Yeah.
example, which was definitely probably an attempt at comedy. You know how they were putting the branches on the dead body, right? And she's talking about how good wonderful
is.
super
Yeah,
glue
yeah.
is and how wonderful of an invention it is. But then at the very end, the body goes flying up in the air and all the branches just
Fall
magically come falling off. And it's like, oh, I remember how good she said super glue was. That's so funny. Like, I guarantee that was an attempt at a joke. But was it really a joke? I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, you don't know with this movie. You just, it's like, was that a joke or wasn't that a joke?
That one, like, it could have been funnier if, like, Steve Martin or someone would be like, "So much for super glue,"
just
like
anything,
just
yeah,
something like that.
but there was-
I think the only times I would say, like, and I want to hear all of your thoughts too. The only times that I thought something was like approaching something that could be funny is when he first started dancing with is it Liv or Leave? I've never had to pronounce it. Leave. Okay. Leave. And when he's like starts backing up with Steve Martin and he kept his feet there and he just like slowly leans.
Yeah.
That I was kind of like, that could be kind of funny. The gun thing you already mentioned. And then I think the little dancing was like,
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only
The
3
dance
times I was kind of
sequence
like,
was actually, I think, the best part.
Yeah.
People are raving about Madeline Kahn in the elevator, which I think there was a good one where she I thought
she was trying to rap.
So
with the drum set
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
the drum set thing.
Hey,
They had her go maximum effort, Madeline Kahn, the whole movie too. Like, she didn't really have, like, almost every single one of her lines were like the crazy lines from the movie Clue. And she's in that. She has a very iconic line where she goes full Madeline Kahn, like going crazy. It's like they told her to do that, but just the whole time. And so she actually kind of drove me a little bit nuts, but I didn't blame her because I get mixed nuts. She definitely yeah, because she's amazing. Almost everything else is like she was definitely told to do that, and I don't know, it didn't work for me.
Yeah, I spent the whole time trying to figure out how this, like, did somebody owe somebody a favor and that's how it got greenlit? Like, how was this movie made? Like, it felt just like a
No,
complete
Nora
and utter train
Ephron
wreck.
was
And then
the
at the end,
big
I was
new
literally
star.
going like, why the hell are they trying to make her look like Mary? Why does she suddenly look like Mary? Oh, she's suddenly going into pray. Oh, and then they're lining them all up. Oh, okay. So the
It's a nativity scene.
narcissistic bitch is birthing baby Jesus. Got it. I was literally like waiting for them to say, well, what would she name him? Jesus.
Yeah.
Like I was waiting for
What
it.
did you guys think about the ending where they're like going, oh yeah, like they basically admitted
You
they
killed the
him.
seaside stranger.
Yeah, and it's like, oh,
Yay!
and there's a $250,000 reward.
You're
And
getting
she's-
money.
And she's just like, yay, I killed him, yay. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I
because
was-
murder's okay if the person's bad.
Yeah, I was like going, no, you would still be on trial for murder. Like, like there is, if you were
She
not
didn't know
any
he was
sort
the
of
strangler when she shot
exactly
him.
like that's how the justice. But you know, I get it. It's like, you know, they were trying to make it some sort of comedy, and everybody came out on top or something like that in some stupid quote unquote funny way.
But like
But
that
it
whole
was
thing
just
was
so bad.
That whole thing was like a linchpin for the movie. Like it was vital that happened in order for like the ending to be the ending. And it's like, it's so wrong. Like it's so wrong and would never be like that in real life. So yeah.
I would like to
supposed to
also
be
know how
it's
two
supposed to be
guys
absurd.
carrying a guy that easily weighed 170 pounds were able to just go, oh, and throw him like 20 feet into the air.
Yeah. Again,
Spinning and-
it's just that like they went into so many different lanes of comedy, and like they went for the absurdist stuff at the very end.
But they were, instead of
But
getting
it
into the
did-
actual lane, they're on the side going,
But yeah, since you're in this roller coaster of weird shit constantly.
Speaking of shitty
It's not
comedy, my
absurdist,
joke was
that's what
probably
I'm saying.
shitty comedy.
the dead body in the tree is absurdist, right? And then trying to cover it up like oh, he was the strangler all around. They kind of made it like, oh, let's like cover it up, happy ending, happy ending. How is it happy ending? Well, they got a lot of money and here's a lot of the landlord is dead, here's your money.
Yeah.
Here's your money. Why are we
It's
giving
the
that couple?
miracle.
Yeah, it's the miracle. Yeah. So oh my god. Yeah.
We can keep going down this road if we want.
So actually, I want to throw this idea out there. So we have some stockings upstairs that I could go get. Instead of voting on whether this is cool or nostalgic, how about I go and put like, you know, some fairly soft but heavy stuff in the stockings. I hand one out to myself and you
And Jeffrey. Yeah.
and then we just beat the living hell out of Andy.
I'm okay with this. I am okay with this.
Don't worry, it won't leave a mark.
Does that key
Beat
us all
the
into
living
what we
hell
think
out
of
of
this movie?
Screw the
Oh
vote.
my
And
God.
we just start
That is what
swinging
our vote is.
stockings.
All right. On three. All right, guys, ready? On three. 1, 2, 3. Nostalgia.
this movie.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, that's
No, I know what you're going for, but fuck this movie.
actually, Andy, I'm gonna give you your own
Not even
stocking
nostalgia.
for
Fuck.
self-flagellation. Like, just join in.
For
with
the rest of the episode, I'll be in the bag just hitting
Yeah, we're
myself.
going to do a short where we all just sit there and watch him beat his own ass.
Can we get a YouTube thumbnail of like Andy basically being the Passion of the Christ thing, like just hitting himself with a stocking over this one?
I hope
nuts
this-
everywhere.
This video gets a lot of views because there's a video with a lot of views with a couple in there and they're gushing over this movie like about how amazing it is and it's a cult classic.
Are they
Wow.
high?
And I'm just like, no.
No. It's the only movie they've ever seen. That's
yeah,
why.
maybe.
No. No.
The magic of cinema.
And they have like 60K views on it. So I'm like, we should edit this review and post it also as a separate just movie.
That sounds
We
like
hate mixed nuts review.
that sounds like a rage bait. Oh, and then they'll respond to my response to the Nostalgia Hunters.
Oh, jeez.
My response
Yeah.
to the Nostalgia Hunter's response.
Yep, go down that whole thing.
This just ruined what seemed like a nice, childhood movie of mine. I watched it again as an adult, and I just went like, "Oh, Nora, what did you do? What did you do, Nora?"
I was like, I loved like some of her movies or some of my
And
favorite
she went
ever.
back to making good movies
Like,
again.
yeah.
It just was this little
Because I'm like, you already referenced Sleepless in Seattle, which is a good movie. Probably, I think one of, if not my favorite, is You've Got Mail. I love that movie.
Years after this,
Yeah,
she made that.
so-
Yeah.
Well, and we need to stop talking about
We need
it.
to
I was
move
just gonna say it was very star-studded, and it's just crazy how it
Hey,
ended up.
Liv Schreiber, best thing about the movie.
Yes.
He played the role really well.
That is the one thing I liked about this movie.
The funny thing is, he played it really well, but it is the one thing that a lot of people in 2025 would have a problem with too.
Yeah.
Because
It's okay.
because there
For
is some
that time that
situations.
it's-
for the
I
transgender
disagree,
woman.
or I've actually heard mixed reactions on that.
Well, yeah, and I get that. I guess it would be very divisive because in one way
I
it was
think
like
it was done very respectfully and pretty good.
I mean, there's a lot of jokes at his expense.
there are a lot of
Or
jokes
her
that
experience.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so,
okay. That's all right.
But
That was gonna happen, but he played it really well.
Yeah.
He played. He did not.
also
He
him being
knocked
like
it out in that
6'3" and
outfit.
being huge and stuff like that. I was like, you wear that dress really
Yeah.
well.
He very much did. I was just like,
I just
good,
looked
man.
at him with his hairstyle, the wig, and everything, and I'm just like,
but that's
and
like,
he didn't even have to like change his voice to feminine tone. He
Yeah.
just played his own
like
voice.
he didn't try to like
I was like,
overact
no,
it. He didn't
no.
try to like make it a caricature. Like he just owned what it was and like.
Did you know that was his
you know.
first movie? That was his debut.
No shit.
Yeah, that
He's-
was his debut.
He's good in every
Feature
role
film
that I've
debut.
ever seen. So he's kind of an underrated actor. Everybody knows him, but I think he's underrated.
He was, I think, few years later in Scream, and that was his big like explosion of like, oh, okay,
I even liked him in the Wolverine movie. He was
Wolverine
great
movie.
as Sabretooth.
Even though that
Sabretooth.
Wolverine movie was garbage.
yeah,
Yeah,
But
the
yeah.
movie was garbage, but he did
I like
good.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, we voted on that.
Next topic. We're gonna get talking about Santa trackers. So I'm gonna start off on this topic with a legend.
Yeah,
Okay, let me know if you've heard this legend. The reason why Santa trackers got started.
thank you for this topic, by the way, because I researched
Are you
and
literally
found that.
googling what are Santa trackers so you know what it is?
I'm gonna give you. I'll give it to you.
No, I'm
I'll give it-
reading. So because of that, I looked into it and I was blown away by the history of
Yes.
like, holy shit.
Okay,
Really?
so
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, 1955. Sears department store in Colorado Springs ran a newspaper advertisement encouraging children to call Santa Claus, and they had a number on the ad. But there was a printing error, and so it basically had the wrong number on it. A kid called into it, and apparently that number went to a top secret hotline. Of the
Literal red phone.
Yes, of the Continental Air Defense Command, CONAD, which turned into NORAD. And Air Force Colonel Harry Shoup answered the phone and heard the small child's voice asking, "Are you really Santa Claus?" And after the initial confusion, he played along as if he was Santa Claus, was asking if the kid had been good and all that stuff. And then after that call, he's like, "Look, any other kids call in, you do the same exact thing. You give them Santa updates." And then from then on, CONAD and then NORAD started officially doing Santa tracking each year, where people could call in and they would tell you where Santa is. Now, I did say I was going to start with the legend because that's not the real story. That is what everyone believes that happened. But apparently, Shoup in particular, along with the family of the child who did the call, have kind of embellished it over the years. So, like, for example, it wasn't actually Christmas Eve that this took place. It was November 30th. There was no red emergency telephone because that specific phone wouldn't actually be publicly listed.
Yeah.
You can't actually call into that one. But it was a phone line at CONAD.
Was it like a hard line from one phone to another? Like there was no public access?
Well, yeah, the actual,
red phone about nuclear war.
Yeah,
Kind
phones
of.
like
That
that.
one,
Like,
so
as I understand,
you can't
like,
just
The
call it-
legend
it
was
has
like-
a
That's what I
number.
was saying. It's like when you can't, like it's a hard line.
Yeah,
No, the
you
legend
can't-
was like he got the call on the phone that you would say like, "Hey, the next World War."
Launch
started,"
the
or, like,
nukes.
Well, no,
Yeah.
we
missiles
know what the
have been
legend
launched
is. He was
kinda
saying,
call.
like,
Yeah,
does
yeah.
it not actually have a phone number to where you could accidentally call it?
Yeah, like you are literally hardline to other phones that can
Right,
only call that phone from
Yeah,
that phone. Like there's no.
It's like the Batman phone from the mayor's office.
Kind of like that, yeah.
So-
But
Actually,
it did go to
exactly like that.
Conad.
But like the meat of that story is actually true, and that's how this whole tradition got started, which is kind of crazy to think about. Just some kid randomly calling into some government agency and then them playing along and actually.
So it
being
was
good
a
people.
Sears or whatever thing misprint. It just wasn't the whole like red phone thing.
Yeah. They've
did go to that
embellished it, but
colonel.
it's mostly true.
It did. Went to him. He went on to be called the Santa or call. Colonel
So then the
Santa
only
Claus, I
embellishment
think.
is that they called a nuclear war phone.
Yeah, that was the only.
Well,
like,
not.
real-
I mean, and when it took place, and certain details about the
yeah.
conversation.
yeah.
But yeah, ever since then, it's been a thing. Especially NORAD has been the big main Santa tracking people every single year.
Is it still just a phone line? I always thought it was like something
So-
you go to a website and just
No.
watch like a dot movie.
So
or
there's
something.
a history behind the Google one too.
There's
Do you
there's
have
a
that?
whole history. I'll tell it briefly. It started out with hotlines that you could call. Then radio broadcasts started happening on
Right.
Christmas Eve, where
I think I remember something.
they would
about this.
do radio broadcasts of where Santa is. It expanded from there, where in '97 NORAD launched a website that you could go to NORAD's website and do the Santa tracker, and then in 2004 Google started doing it with their own
Google Earth.
keyhole mapping company.
Keyhole was Google Earth.
Yeah,
before,
which became Google Earth, and
They bought
I didn't know
Keyhole.
that. Okay.
they had their own Santa radar, so it was almost like a competition. And then in 2007, NORAD and Google officially became partners and ended up working together on these things every year until 2012, where NORAD and Google split again, and now NORAD does their own thing and Google does their own thing. But they're really the big players in the Santa tracking game nowadays.
The big players. You make it
So-
sound like it's a huge like air.
So,
So,
the,
but
the
before- I have a
culinary
question.
granddaughter was working for Google, so she was the one who announced it with Google actually.
Oh, I didn't
So
know that.
there was like that family connection. That Shoop's granddaughter was there, and she was. I think she through Keyhole she got to work with Google, and then so she was the one announcing like,
So,
"Hey,
so I have
we
a question.
got
Does,
this."
does the phone line still exist?
Yes.
Okay, so here's my question. I'm curious, with whatever they're doing online, do they adjust the phone call to make sure they're matching online? Because has anyone checked Google and checked NORAD to see how they're differing, and then also called the phone line? And when they give you an update, we're like, well, according to this and this, it's saying it's this, but you're saying that, like, has anyone ever fact checked their Santa tracking
Well, I
across
mean,
the different platforms?
you also have to realize that the people that are calling into the phone lines are probably 4 or 5-year-olds, people that still
No, I
believe
get
in
what
Santa.
it's meant for. I'm asking, has anyone older ever fact checked
Oh,
it
hell
to see if they
I-
try to keep them in sync?
I don't know.
I would hope not.
With some of the stupid stuff done
I would-
online nowadays.
I would hope not. That they're
jeez.
fact checking whether the different platforms knows where Santa's at. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well,
Or-
essentially, like if NORAD
Do they agree with each other? I think
and
they
also
don't.
has a phone line.
I-
Could you look it online and say, "Oh, he's currently over Switzerland," but I call at the exact same time, like, "Oh yeah, no, right now he's over Washington State."
I
And
No,
I'm like,
I think they don't match up. And I think, if you go to NORAD's site and then you go to
Yeah.
Google's site,
well, it's like
they
I
show
can
in different-
understand if those maybe don't
Yeah.
match, but at the phone line for NORAD and the website
Those
for
probably
NORAD.
match.
yeah, those probably.
I'm curious if they
probably
keep
match.
if they try
Yeah.
to keep
I
it.
mean,
Like, do they keep the website
the
up
person who's
so they
on
can
the
tell
phone
exactly-
probably is looking
Looking at the
exactly
website.
at the
Yeah.
website because that'd be the
That's what I was saying. Would they
that'd be
look
the
at to make sure
smartest
they're
thing.
saying the
That'd
same
be the
thing?
smartest thing to do. So
So anyway, I wanted to bring this up as a topic because in my childhood, this was like, I loved this. And I don't know why I loved this so much, but it was like, it made Santa real to me because I was always like, how the heck does Santa actually make it all the way around the world in one night? I was always like wondering how that could be possible. And then my parents are like, I'll tell you how. And, they're like, here, you go to NORAD and show you how he's actually visiting every single country.
My childhood. But I was done with Santa at like 8 or 9 or something, like young.
I don't know when I found out the truth.
I want to, yeah.
Well, I knew the truth for a while, and like my mom has told this story before, but one day I was just like, fuck it. I just called mom at work, and she's like, hey, and I'm like, is Santa even real? I just called her out on it.
Called her at work?
Yeah. I used to do all kinds of weird stuff to my mom at work. Like I'd call her, and if she didn't answer, I'd leave her like voicemail, like putting on like little skits with characters and stuff in her voicemail. And I know she used to save these for a long time until like they did a new phone system, and I guess they got taken away. And then of course she eventually went to work somewhere else. But no, one time she told me like I actually apparently like legit scared her because I called her and I was doing something like, Ms. Martin, this is Officer Barry with the Kansas City Police Department, and I did this whole thing, and I was like, I just want you to know that your son like loves you very much, and hi mom, how you doing? And then like I went back to my real voice because it was like obviously a lot lower at the time, and or like a lot higher at the time, and like apparently that one freaked her out for a little bit.
He's a totally radical dude that wants Cocoa Pebbles. So please get him some on the way home from work. But no, it's funny. I'd never heard of Santa Tracker.
Oh my! So
In my
neither
entire-
of y'all.
in my entire life,
You
I've
heard it.
heard
This
of
was
it
never-
before
never a
this,
thing. I had to
but it was
look
never
it up.
part of my childhood.
And when I looked it up, I was like, this can't be real. This would have happened like way before I was even born and all the way through when I was young and all that. Never once heard about Santa.
Like until now.
I don't know that these
Until
actually
now,
became
I have
popular
never,
though
ever
until
heard about it.
maybe it existed this whole time. Like when was it started? You said 58? Was it that old?
55 is when
55, I
it-
think,
yeah,
is-
58
maybe
is
it's been
when,
that, but
yeah.
like I don't know if it really became that popular until the 90s, or at least maybe
Oh,
that's when I
no,
heard it,
it
because it
was
seemed to
pretty
blow up in
popular.
the 90s because it was even referenced in movies, I think. And
No,
stuff,
they
so.
were doing radio shows. It was pretty
Well,
popular.
no, I know
Yeah.
they had that, but I'm saying like I didn't. Well, it could just be because I didn't hear about it until then. So maybe that's why I remember it that way. But I don't remember hearing about it until like the mid to late 90s, which I was well after my Santa time anyway.
I didn't have. I knew from like maybe 2010. I think I knew of it, but like not obviously.
And
I
even
opened
to
the
date, I've
website,
never
looked
gone to
at
a
it,
Santa
and I was
Tracker
like,
to look
"That's
at it."
cool." And so by then I was much older anyway.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I was like, "Oh, they're really invested in this NORAD thing," and I find out like they actually do, like show it through the radar going up. That fighter jets go do like a escort of the sleigh. With Santa on it and all of that, so they show all these things apparently, which is like pretty involved. So I was impressed. I was like, oh, these guys, like they actually invested so much into the Santa thing. But I'm surprised you did not.
Never
No.
even knew what it was until I had to look it up, and when I looked it up, I didn't believe it. I was
Just
like,
like
this.
Santa Claus.
I was like, is this even right? Am I even looking at the right thing? Like because it just seemed like something that I'd never been a part of my life. Never even heard it mentioned, brought up, or if I had heard it mentioned, it just went psst, like I didn't catch it what it was.
So
Yeah,
some
I just knew they
stats-
existed. Have never once gone onto the websites to look at them. Nothing.
Some stats from recent years that kind of could give you an estimate of popularity.
Turtle, are you okay?
She hissed at you just now?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh, jeez.
He's not. I mean, he's old. He's not feeling well. So
Okay, some stats
Anyway.
that could give you an estimate of popularity. 2013, NORAD got about 20 million visits as far as their Santa Tracker. 2018, Google's Santa Tracker added in some like educational coding games to their site, and their site received 42 million visitors for the Santa Tracker. 2019, NORAD's website is down to 9 million visitors. So Google really kind of took over at that point.
You said how many million did Google have?
42
42 million
in 2018. I don't know what it is nowadays, but basically it's still millions of people. And Google is now the main player. I said it again.
Santa
in the whole
Tracker game.
Santa tracking game. NORAD's kind of fallen off a bit, but NORAD is where it all got started. So one of the other reasons why I brought this up, and we'll get to voting, but basically is I tried.
So 0.5% of the world uses it.
Yeah.
it's still decent.
I tried to get my kids into it like I did when I was a kid. and it just never clicked with them. And so I'm wondering if Santa trackers are no longer cool.
Well, kids now
Or
need
were
a
they
lot
ever?
more, I think, visually to believe it. If you just show a map and it's coming, and maybe I'm being biased.
Kids like, what's a map?
You know,
Right,
like,
well,
hey, here's Santa in North. You know, you see the North Pole, and he's starting off, and they're just kind of like,
See,
I'm going back to YouTube.
whatever. Yeah.
And what maybe we need now is AI videos of
God.
Santa.
Well, they had videos. I think.
Coca-Cola to the rescue.
Yeah,
No,
Coca-Cola.
NORAD had cameras also that kind of showed him like going through certain places and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Though they had a lot of things invested in it. They just used their normal surveillance cameras to show
Yeah,
Santa. But yeah, I don't know if it's the magic of it for us was more. I don't want to say we were more naive.
Oh, we're absolutely more
But
naive.
that's the
'cause
thing,
we're-
like,
we just like
we
we're
as
open to it.
kids are obviously more naive, but so are my kids. But for some reason, they
Not
aren't
this
getting
way.
into
Well,
it.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like there were less sources of information and ways, even for a kid, to find out like what is the source of truth and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I think the kids
Right.
back then versus kids today.
So
completely
I mean,
different.
my opinion, and then we'll get to y'all's votes. I think it is actually nostalgia at this point, and I think it's because of the fact that this tracking technology no longer seems magical, because we could track packages, we could track our cars, we could track all sorts of things, and so tracking Santa doesn't seem like that big of a deal anymore.
So
That's my opinion.
I want to go next because I have a comment to add on to that. In its current form, I mean, I was going to say I would argue it's always been nostalgia, but like way back before we had like, internet and everything like that. And like, so maybe the early days of the phone calls and radio stuff, might have been very intriguing to kids. I find the entire concept pretty silly, so I would definitely say nostalgia, but I think as you guys were talking, have a way that I think you could potentially make it more engaging and actually cool for kids. And that's, let's go beyond there's a flashing dot and it's currently, over Saskatchewan or whatever. What if, this would take some involvement from somebody, but what if you go and with the current technology of AI and be able to put CG stuff and everything like that, have a whole setup of a sleigh and potentially some like reindeer in front of it too, and they could be like animatronic or whatever. And you set up all kinds of cameras from different angles. Like, one angle is just him sitting in the sleigh, one angle is, from the reindeer's back, one angle is like over here, like by his feet, or like you have all these different camera angles. What you do is you go live
Like
on
a
the
live
website.
show of this?
You go live on the website, which actually has all these cameras, and you can just pick whichever camera you want to look at, and then all of a sudden you see Santa like walking through the snow up to get into his sleigh to start to go, but it's all like green screen stuff, but it looks real there. And then Santa actually takes off and he's flying over whatever, and it actually has him land on, whatever, and then he's pulling packages out of a sack, and then he like walks out of frame because he goes to get in a chimney and disappears or whatever. So now they're not only just tracking Santa, they're watching Santa. And you just get like a couple of people that in the Santa outfit look close enough and similar to where people just put in shifts.
Santa the Twitch streamer. That's what.
But I'm just saying, like, don't you think I would engage kids a little more?
It
where
could be,
instead of
yeah,
the
yeah,
flashing
yeah,
dot,
yeah.
you can actually see
just
Santa doing it?
perpetuating the lie.
Just
No.
Well, I never did.
We're
I
just
never did the Santa
reinforcing that
stuff with
for
my
these kids. They
so.
need to grow up these days. They need to get a job.
Well, it's funny you say that because
They don't
I
need
didn't
to
do the
be-
Santa stuff with my son.
They need to know how the
I'm
real
not doing
world
it
How
with
the
my
real
daughter.
world works.
But I mean, just like that, I think would create the magic. And if they were
It could,
doing that,
yeah.
I could see how that could
Yeah.
be considered cool because that's such a huge effort they're putting in there to just bring a smile and joy to a child. And like if NORAD obviously doesn't do it, like, I feel like somebody should.
But how much? This is 2025. How much money can you make from that?
On YouTube?
Or Twitch.
Where you could be monetized and everything to do that
every once in a
year?
while,
You just
take an
And
ad break.
that's where it all falls down because
Okay.
you can.
Let me take
because
over
you can
from there.
excessively
Wait.
monetize all that, and it sucks
So
all
Andy's,
that
Andy's
out.
next. Andy's
I
next.
think
I'm not saying you have to,
monetize
but I'm
it a
just
lot.
saying like you
Look,
monetize it to pay for the people doing it. You're not like doing it to quote unquote make money, but you have to pay for the people that are willing to do it if they aren't going to do it
You
for
think
free.
it'll
You have
come
to
out
pay for the
perfectly
sleigh.
to exactly pay the people?
Maybe you have to take a ding at the beginning, but eventually you get it to where it just pays for itself.
I don't know.
And you can take it beyond Santa.
I'm very
You're tracking the
cynical about
Easter
that-
Bunny.
that kind of
you're,
stuff
You're
these
tracking,
days.
some killer on Halloween. You're tracking people.
Some killer on Halloween.
My thought was, you just have Santa landings across the country, and you can stagger them so that they're not at the same time.
Actual live events. That
So
people
you
go
can
to?
have people come to the square, whatever that is, and it can probably be like a drone show thingy of them landing, and you just pop, and then a Santa comes out and performs a little thing. And that actually makes it a gathering, makes it like, okay, that was...
But
hey, we
I
went
think
to
that
Santa's
screws with the
landing.
actual magic of it, though, because you're going to watch a stage show of Santa. It's supposed
Better
to be
than nothing.
It's supposed to be like that. Like he sees you when you're sleeping, knows when you're awake, stuff, and he's not wanting you to be
that's
around
just
because
creepy
it's
now.
secret. Well, that's how the song
Right.
goes.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm actually
and,
kinda-
you're right. He's supposed to be coming around and dropping off presents while you're sleeping. Like that's the whole.
Yeah, I know.
You don't track when he's at your house. You track where else he is in the world
where-
before you go to bed.
Well, no, just to kind of piggyback off what Andy was saying is like going, I actually think that'd be kind of cool. Like think of it like as the ball dropping in each time zone, something like that. Like at 2 a.m., like this is where Santa's at in your area. He's right
Well,
here.
you'd have to play it
He's
off
going to be at
secretive.
your house soon. But I mean, it wouldn't be 2 a.m. because kids wouldn't watch that. But like, you know what I mean? Something like that could be kind of fun.
That's why I'm saying it.
But I
won't
mean, if
work
people were going
because-
and watching it live, you'd have to add an element of secret to like, all right, now everyone be quiet because if Santa knows we're here, he's not going to land.
could always be
Like,
something
you
you
do
watch.
that, then that adds the
It'd be
magic.
something the next day. I don't know. But like so we're all on the same page, like trying to make
I
something
feel
cool for a
like,
kid.
yeah. So in on
Santa's
that
drunk
vein,
on eggnog right now, kids. It's okay.
Especially his
you know,
eggnog.
I feel like, yeah, we're just trying to salvage the lost magic of it because like off the technology and things, and it's very easy to search and be like, oh, that's not real. And so there has to be something more tangible for the kids to do.
Of course,
with it.
nowadays,
That's
yeah.
where I was like, oh, let's all go out to something.
Kids don't have to wait to ask their parents. They can be 4 years old, pull up their iPad. Is Santa real?
At 4 years old, man, that'd be crazy if they could type that out.
They just ask Alexa.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, even there's even an Alexa integration about Santa. Tracker.
Yes, I got that in my notes too.
But I feel there was magic when people didn't know, and the kids were loving it. And you could sit by, they would turn on the radio to the tracker, and so they would listen to the announcement and then go to bed, and it was fun. Right. So now it's no longer that. In fact, most people have given up on pretending about Santa Claus itself. So
Yeah, I'm not giving
to
credit
me-
to all these presents I bought to some unknown figure. Like, I bought these for you.
So we were told. I think we're in the nostalgia, but this was one of the good nostalgia bits where it was like, hey, it was wholesome for a bit. It didn't look like it got overly commercialized, right? Like it didn't look like people. Yeah, they made some ads through it and whatnot, but it didn't look like he's going.
Well,
through,
yeah, I mean, even
you know.
Google's Santa tracker, it's not like they're saying Santa's dropping off Pixel phones in India
Yeah,
right now. Or
exactly.
something, you know.
It was
Giving
like,
them a few more years.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, well, they
Yeah,
just
don't put that out
they
there.
just
That's a good
heard.
idea.
yes.
So we're gonna
what a
have
great
that,
idea.
We're gonna have that next year.
Santa's
So-
landed at the AT&T Stadium and is handing out Budweisers.
Yeah.
Like they're not doing that yet. So
Dude, they need to make adult Santa.
Didn't they already do that movie?
Bad
Santa?
Santa?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bad Santa is such a good one. Anyway, I guess my vote's pretty much gonna be the same as everything else, so we can just kind of move along. I thought it was
your
actually
one
pretty
was
cool.
basically I
was-
didn't know this shit existed.
It didn't exist. Well, just hearing it after
Must be
looking it up and
nostalgia. I didn't
stuff
know what
like
it
that.
was.
Well, not necessarily. Like, there's a lot of times one of us did not know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
But in this case, I'm also glad that it sounds like it was cool for the time it was cool.
Yeah.
But I think, now it's not as if
Played out.
Yeah, it's kind of played out. So I'm
Yeah, I would argue
Yeah.
technology is part of the problem. As technology has increased, I don't think the way of quote unquote track Santa has kept up enough to keep it engaging.
Yeah, and it's not for trying, right? Google has tried, NORAD has tried, and I don't know. Yeah, I think it has just kind
They
of.
still have
I
millions
think
of people
giving the
visiting
sneak
it, but
peek and
yeah.
actually being able to see him, whether it's like through the cameras on the sleigh or something like that, or some way of actually bringing a visual element to it other than like, look, there's a dot right here. Like, I think it could create some engagement there because they're like, wow, we're watching him deliver toys, that kind of thing. So I don't know.
Okay. On to our final topic for the night. And like you were saying earlier, saving the best for last. Ernest Saves Christmas.
So, yeah, I grabbed this movie because I wanted to do one that was just like silly and stupid in the way that it was trying to be silly and stupid, not something that didn't know what comedy was. But I mean, like anyone who knows like Ernest with the whole "Hey Vern" and all that kind of stuff, like
I feel like I improved this movie's
Or the eyes
rating
like
by
blah, blah,
putting
blah, blah,
mixed nuts first and making you watch that and then watching this.
If you
You're
watch,
like, this is an awesome
if you watch Mixed Nuts first, Ernest Saves Christmas
is like
just saved your
cinema.
life, basically. Like you
it
were
is
thinking
Oscar worthy after watching
horrible
Mixed Nuts.
thoughts, and now you've been brought back from the brink.
No, I rewatched it for this, and like I remember watching it when I was really young. And funny enough, like all of that I remember, I don't know if I only watched the last like 20 minutes of the movie every single time when I was a kid, or I just didn't remember all of the rest, because all of my memories have to do with with the reindeer being on the ceiling, the elves getting the sleigh, and then like Ernest driving the sleigh until Santa becomes Santa. All the lead up to that, I'm like, I don't remember any of this shit. So it's been a long time since I watched this movie. And I liked Ernest movies when I was a kid. Like,
Were you one of those impatient kids? Were you watching on VHS as a kid?
I think I watched it when it would come on like TV. Like we didn't own it.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you had it on VHS, because I was actually one of the kids that was impatient. And the reason why I bring this up is like I was impatient. The movie wouldn't be rewound yet, and I'd rewind it maybe half of it, and I'd start watching halfway through. And I would do that a lot. And instead of starting, so a lot of times I didn't remember a movie from the beginning because I would so rarely watch it from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, and I can't have been the only kid like that, because
I think for me it was because like you would just happen to stumble across it on TV, and you're like, oh, and you watch it from wherever you stumbled across it. That's what I think it was.
That's how a lot of Ernest content got to me. Is through just
because I know
jumping
I've
into it
seen
in the
Ernest
middle.
Goes to Camp. I don't remember really anything about it. I know I watched Ernest Goes to Jail a bunch of times. I remember a lot of that movie. And then we like all the other ones like Scared Stupid. I don't know if I ever saw that. But then there's like one where like Ernest, like I was looking at Ernest is like an NBA star or something like that, and all these other weird Ernest things, because like what is his name? Like something Varney. Oh, I can't remember.
Jim Varney.
Jim Varney. Like that's almost all he did. Like he did a handful of other things, but most of it all came from that. What were they? I think they were like commercials or something like that originally, when he was like always "Hey Vern," you know.
Yep.
Which also watching this movie again, like I knew the thing "Hey Vern." I didn't remember that. I guess maybe the "Hey Vern" was always talking to the camera. So like when he got to the guy's house, they're like "Hey Vern," and it's all like first person view of the camera. And you never actually see Vern.
Mm-hmm. The audience.
That's how it always was. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like all the like random characters he would play in there, like Eddie Murphy used to do and everything in his movies. So essentially, like it is a movie I remember from my childhood. Rewatching it, I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's very like slapsticky, like forced comedy and everything like that. But that's what it's meant to be. That's like what they're trying for.
And that's
so
what people
I think because of that
wanted.
Yeah, so like because of that, I think like it isn't as irritating as another movie we had to watch. But I wouldn't necessarily call it like great comedy either. It's just kind of like silly stupidness, but silly stupidness in a way that you're just kind of like, I mean, it's not something I'd watch all the time. I may wait another 20 years, but
yeah, I was also the story arc was obviously way better. The heart and soul of the movie was actually really good. The guy who played Santa played it so well and straight. The guy who with the dilemma of like, well, should I be Santa or what? Like, he was trying to get him to become Santa, right? This next Santa. His role was done very well. Everyone around was a little cartoonish. His agent is cartoonish. The studio executives are cartoonish. Who the heck do you think you are? And they go like, and I'm laughing at that because I'm like, that looks so cartoonishly bad. Mm-hmm. They had like this young kid play an executive in it. I don't know why they picked him. And he does not look like anything of the part. I mean, this movie, So I think
We're gonna want a Christmas sleigh.
the
SLAY.
I think the real context is they made this for $6 million, like super cheap. This was not a high budget movie. This wasn't some the Mixed Nuts was 20 something million and they made nothing back. And this movie was made in 6 million and they made like 4 times the money back or something. So this was a very low budget run and gun, like simple, set it in the same city. All the effects were practical, I think. Like I didn't see any CGI in there. The reindeers on the roof shot was like impressive for me because they pulled it off pretty well. I know it was just like a normal shot from above.
Yeah.
That they made a set.
Yeah, they did.
But it was
a way
a
to
pretty
make it look
good,
like it was ceiling. Yeah,
pretty good set.
They did have CGI. The sparkles coming off the sleigh.
there you go. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, like, and I guess the reason this one doesn't like, I mean, even though, like I said, it's just stupid comedy kind of stuff, it doesn't bother me as much because, like,
They picked a lane.
yeah, they did.
They picked
but
a
also,
lane.
like, this to me, like, feels like something that is in the realm of potentially inspiring stuff like Dumb and Dumber, which people always thought was really funny and everything too.
I always thought the Ernest movies were, as a kid, I thought this, and I still even think this way, were like a budget version of the Pee-wee movies. Like for the same audience, the same type of like goofy
like,
comedy. They had some
Pee-wee.
they had some real crazy
Southern Pee-wee.
Southern Pee-wee.
They had some real they had some Southern Pee-wee is probably a great way to put it. Like the over the top characters, like the whole premise of the movie and stuff like that.
Yeah.
As a kid, I always liked them, but I never really loved the Ernest movies. And I kind of feel the same way now, pretty much. It's like when it just felt like it was a budget version of the Pee-wee stuff. And I did love the like Pee-wee's movies and whatnot. So
Well, Pee-wee had one good movie and then some not so good movies, but that's my opinion.
his Big Adventure,
Yeah.
is that the good one for you?
Yeah.
Which was the one where he was a vampire? I'm just kidding. That was Buffy.
Oh,
That was a joke.
Okay, I'm like,
I was like, he made a
How does that
vampire
play into
movie?
that?
Is what I was really thinking that.
How does that play into Pee-wee?
The dude who played Pee-wee was a vampire.
In Buffy the Vampire.
Yeah.
Paul Rubens.
Paul Rubens.
Oh, you mean in the
Not
movie?
Pee-wee,
Yeah,
not,
in the
not
movie.
Pee-wee.
Oh, it's been a long time since when
not
you
Pee-wee
said
the-
Buffy, I'm thinking like the TV show, which was
Not
like
Pee-wee.
I
better.
was talking about the,
Not Pee-wee the character.
Eddie-
Paul Rubens the actor.
that joke just did not. That was a mixed nuts.
that was the
right? It was mixed
Was
That
that
was
so-
a deep cut. So it was
Yeah.
hard for, I was like, what?
No, I picked up what you're saying. I was just like, we're talking about Pee-wee.
What if there was
here.
what about the movie Paul Rubin where like it was like a superhero that like farted or something?
Shoot, that was the one that had Ben Stiller in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and William H. Macy and
It's
uh,
something man. I don't
something men. Yeah.
Wow, okay. I had no
yeah,
idea.
know. It was not good.
it was weirdly could have been good, but yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, we won't go on that one. But
Back to Ernest.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of Ernest when I was a kid. I don't know why, but I think it's mostly like you were saying when I was flipping through TV channels and his face is right there, and you're like, okay, well, let's watch this. But I had never seen this one, and the whole time I'm like, okay, when is Ernest going to be Santa? Like, come on,
Oh,
the
you thought he
whole
was gonna
twist
be
is gonna
Santa?
be
Ernest has to
Ernest
save
ends up
Christmas.
being-
He has to save
like,
Christmas.
okay, yeah. Ernest is definitely going to be Santa, right? And then it ends up being that dude, and like I was like, oh, I thought that was just like a what do you call it, a red herring. But nope. And that bothered me because I actually did not like that guy's acting. I don't think he did very good, and I also don't think he looked like Santa.
No.
Like the old Santa was so much more like real Santa.
Well, because you got to
That
wait
was
for him to
saying,
get that
yeah.
old. He's not old enough yet to look that way.
Yeah, well, he
But
transformed.
what about when he went all like white hair,
no,
beard?
still
and
didn't
everything,
look
huh?
like Santa.
When he invites Ernest over to come, hey, do you want to ride this, drive it again? Yeah, I get what you mean. It was kind of rough. It wasn't, he didn't have, probably because the original Santa guy, I forgot his name, he was so good. He just played it really well of being Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Like you just
Mystery Man.
completely
Mystery Men.
Oh yeah.
It was bothering me, so I had to look it up.
Gotcha. No, I get it. That guy, I thought he was I thought he was just going to be like, hey, this is what I'm going to do, and it's going to be evil or whatever, and he's going to turn the other side. I kept expecting that too.
Yeah, and then
I was
Ernest gets to
surprised.
be Santa.
Well, see, you just saw him ride off into the sunset. You don't realize that he eventually does do the Santa sleigh or the Christmas sleigh. You know?
Yeah.
He comes back for the paycheck. He's like, it's not I'm free most of
Ernest
the
Saves
year.
Christmas 2 is saving Christmas from the Santa he just
Oh,
put in the
Oh my
sleigh.
God, that'd be great.
No, he's
out
like,
murdering
hey,
people.
I'm just free after December, guys.
It's
Yeah.
that whole song I told you guys last time from Weird Al, The Night Santa Went Crazy. That's Ernest Saves Christmas Part 2 right there.
Oh jeez, oh jeez. What else do we want to say about this?
How'd you
movie?
like the? Did you guys? I thought it was weird, but then this is my first Ernest movie ever. I knew nothing about this guy. Okay, so when they did the zoom close-up shot into his face,
Oh,
They
that was
do that a
very
lot.
typical.
I was like, "Whoa,
That
what
was
is
very
this?"
typical.
That's an Ernest movie.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, and like initially, I was kind of like, and then when he played his own aunt. And then played the little southern guy with it's got snakes in there.
Yeah.
movies
Yeah.
I gave one my son, and he takes his hat off and he's like starts talking about the son, who probably died because he gave him a snake.
Yeah.
It got poison in them. So
and poison.
I was like, oh, this guy's actually doing really. It's caricature-y, but he's doing a really good job. And then he plays the mayor's assistant or something, and he's like, oh, he's not gonna love this at all with his niece, pretends to be the niece to get him out of the jail.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this guy actually did, like, it's a little extra, it's very caricature-y, but I admired the, like, oh,
He has range. You can tell he
pretty
has
good
range.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go and watch some of the other Ernest movies, like there's little tidbits that like carry on through, like that zoom in camera thing, all different characters. The thing they're doing, they were like, which I just hit my tooth and that kind of hurt.
You gotta watch out.
and he also does like kind of stuff and like,
And he's a complete a-hole to Warren. He just went into the house, stuck a tree,
but he doesn't
ripped out
realize
the
that.
board.
He thinks he's being nice.
Yeah.
He's trying to be helpful.
Yeah. Oh, the
Go home
part,
and watch Ernest Goes to Jail.
the part where he's pulling the electrical cord and
Yeah.
it just keeps
Just
ripping
ripping
out
out
the
the
wall
wall,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. My wife, who was watching it with me at the time, almost just got up and left because she was just like, this is hurting me to watch. Like, oh my God, it just keeps going. And I also tried to get my daughter to watch it with me too. It's like, yeah, it's a movie for kids. Let's have her watch it. And she's like, I don't like this movie, and she just walks out. I'm like, oh man.
Man, if I was a kid and I saw a new movie, I'm like, sweet, new movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the Pamela character, young kid, to like play the kid who ran away from the home and then is returning kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
With the whole arc, again, like a proper arc for that kid. That's what I was like, compared to Mixed Nuts, I guess. I was like, hey, there's actual really good arcs for every... Ernest is the one who just keeps the flat of like, he's not like trying to go through a major arc. He's like, whatever, this is just me and I'm going to be me.
Yeah.
He moves
And then
the
everyone
story
else has a proper
because like he's
arc in
just the
character.
village idiot that's always just kind of along for the ride.
The lovable
in every one of
idiot.
the movies.
Yeah.
What I was getting to, like
Yeah.
he's the village idiot that's along for the ride and everything, but like he's not trying to be mean to anybody. He's always trying to be helpful. He's just like the klutz accident prone stuff follows him.
He's a force of nature.
Yeah.
Like just going through everybody else's life pretty much.
Yeah. And he goes there, and they keep fighting over elves, and it's like, it's Elms. Are you Mr. Elms? Because they keep going for elves. And then they show up.
F.
Bunny.
And the ear shuts up.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I think it was pretty... I'm not like
those two warehouse guys are in other movies with him.
okay, because I was like, these guys are.
That's why they
look
kept
like
going back
very-
to them.
They just look funny by just looking at them together. You're like,
Oh, the one guy's
I
always
get
like-
it. Yeah, and very thin, and this guy's got this big chubby face, and so then you're just like, okay, they're like juxtaposing him. I thought the guy died at the beginning because the whole box falls on him.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's
Yeah.
just going in the trailer stuck
Oh
in
my
the
God.
they're
box.
essentially
He's stuck on
they're
it.
essentially cartoon characters. Like
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I also liked how when Santa was in the slammer he was able to convince all the
they
felons
said
to
it.
believe in him. They're like, yeah, he's the real Santa. And then whenever he gets out, they're like, we'll be good. Yeah, there are definitely rough spots about the movie, but there are also a lot of like gems in there.
Yeah.
And overall, it's just super wholesome. Like the whole movie is just so wholesome.
I
It's,
think that just comes through, and you just.
I mean, other than-
you feel good for it. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Go
interrupt you.
ahead.
No, I was just saying, other than you, has anyone else like not seen this before?
I hadn't.
You had either?
I'd seen it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But,
First timer. So I was like, my journey through the movie was like, I'm not a big fan of this slapstick, and it's not landing for me that well. And then I get to the end, and I have like a little bit of like,
His
they
heart
actually-
grew 3 sizes.
yeah, kind of like that. I was like,
Grinch.
it's pretty nice. They had like, and then I find and I look more about it, and I'm like, oh, this is like they were trying to make the cheapest possible thing. And it's like, oh, then I was like, okay, for a run and gun kind of thing that they did and quickly made a movie on that little budget, I was like,
And something that's targeted
pretty
at
good,
kids too, that are mostly going to be doing like, just like the funny, like it was literally like, memes before memes were memes. Basically, like like the kids just all impersonating him, and like it was literally just made for that. Like it's
I would say
not.
that's why I
not-
brought up Dumb and Dumber. Like it felt like early
Yes.
Jim Carrey
Yeah.
kind of. Well, not early Jim Carrey, but it reminds me of what Jim Carrey kind of did in a lot of his stuff.
No.
For me, as the Disney nerd of the group, it was really fun to watch this and see that pretty much the entire movie was
Set in
filmed in
Orlando,
Orlando.
right? Yeah.
And all the studio scenes were filmed on Disney's now completely defunct and destroyed MGM Studios, which that area later became Hollywood Studios, which is now a theme park. But it was nice to see all those things that no longer exist anymore. Was pretty cool. Which also, I believe, makes Ernest a Disney princess.
If you say so.
All right.
Ernest
Argue
was a
about that
woman
one
for-
in the comments.
Yeah.
Is Ernest
Is this the same year as Forrest Gump? I think, or very close.
94?
94. Sorry, this is 88.
Yeah, that was.
But
this is
throughout
older.
90s, I'm seeing a list. Like 90s, he made like
There's
7
a lot of
more,
Ernest movies.
and
Quite a
literally
few of
just died like at 2000.
Died of lung cancer.
Yeah.
At
Is that what it
50,
was?
That was so sad.
Yeah, I saw it.
It
I
was
knew he
pretty
died young.
He was a
Ish.
huge
Yeah.
chain smoker, but he was also a man of character. He never had any photos, videos,
Of him.
none of his movies. He's never smoking. He made sure to keep that away from the public eye, so that he was never influencing kids to get into smoking.
Because most of his audience
He
is
was-
always kids.
He cared a lot about, how kids viewed his character and how kids viewed him. Apparently, he was like a super cool guy. People called him the nicest man in Hollywood. Like, he was just a good guy. But yeah, he got lung cancer. As soon as he got the diagnosis, he stopped smoking, went through chemotherapy and all that, but didn't help.
Yeah,
You're like,
too
Yeah.
late.
yeah, he made a
Well, on that
watch
downer,
On that
Now do you
bombshell.
think his movies suck?
Merry Christmas.
on that downer, we should probably vote. This one's hard for me because I know it's silly, and it's definitely got a nostalgic feel to it because, I watched his movies when I was younger, and certain ones of them do hold up. Like I plan to probably go watch Ernest Goes to Jail sometime because that was the one I always watched back then, and maybe another one just to be like, hey, relive childhood. So I mean, the idea of saying it's cool versus nostalgia, I'm just like, I'm really on the fence of which way I want to go. And I feel like I'm choosing cool because of the fact that I watched that 2 days before watching Mixed Nuts, and I feel that's influencing my decision to say cool. I knew it. Choice is cool.
I knew it. I already called that out.
If I hadn't watched that horrible movie, I might have gone nostalgia, but those are the only two movies
Hey.
I've watched all week.
Mixed Nuts is avant-garde. Okay.
Oh my god.
It's an underrated gem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's carbon right now, but one day it'll be diamond. Still carbon though.
It's just got to have all that
still a lump of coal.
pressure from all those critics will
Yeah.
form it into a diamond one
Yeah.
day.
I'll go next because it's my first time watching, and it was literally the night after watching Mixed Up. Right.
So it's influencing the decision.
It's influencing my decision, and I had like two trains of thought, and one it was like, do we make these kind of movies anymore? Probably not. I don't know if Hallmark is the place to find them because I just don't see it in mainstream anymore.
I don't think
Very rare.
slapsticks is big of a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Like it was like I think it was very heavy in the 80s, 90s, and maybe early 2000s.
I mean, you can see Steve Martin and Martin Short on Only Murders, and you can still see
Love
they
that show.
tone their whole slapstick way back. And that's just because we're in a different era with different problems, and we just find different things funny now.
You get a different version of it, like nowhere near actually the same, a different version of it through like the Naked Gun stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
Especially the
yeah,
modern-
that's true. That's a
So I think
recent
we're
dynamic.
we're no longer in the door hits the face and you just go and like that is not there.
Yeah.
And we are a lot more into choreographed chaos of like things
Yeah.
have to be like very tightly made ones.
Yeah.
That's what people love now more. Like a Rube Goldberg machine of a scene of like physical comedy. So for me, there was two. One, I was like, given the budget they had, and that this guy he nailed his acting and immediately showed his range when he actually switched into some other characters. Because I think in all these movies, he plays everyone that is his family. It's played by him, the same guy, Jim Warren. He just plays all his family. So that was another thing that blew me away. But I thought he did great when he played other characters. So I thought that was like good, cool movie in that context. Because it's like this little gem of a time capsule. But then that makes me feel like if there's a term of it's good nostalgia than just nostalgia, that would be this.
Yeah.
Because there's still
With nostalgia with a slight of.
I was like, you can like something and still think it's nostalgia.
Yeah, that's whereas I think this is that for me because you can watch it, and like I said, I was like very well written, sharp script of like character arcs and what's going on, and it's like the Santa is going through something, the new to be Santa is going through something, the girl is going through something, and then Ernest is like the constant through it all. And so these guys, they just maintain that really well, and it has everyone pays off really well, and nothing felt like that was overly sweet or like it just played really well. So that's where I'm like, it's good nostalgia. It's the tools, their medium in which they try to do it. I'm too pretentious about camera angles and framing and other things. And I'm like, this is so cookie cutter. I'm not a big fan of the Ernest, like zoom into his face.
Whatever.
But I might grow to like it, is what I felt towards the end. I was like, oh, that's his signature thing to do that. Okay. I realized that towards the end. Because initially I was like, why did they do that shot? That's so weird.
Hey, Vern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, it's cool nostalgia.
You can't do both. You gotta choose
Okay,
one.
it is nostalgia.
Pick a lane, Andy. I know you picked Mixed Nuts,
it's
a movie that doesn't know how to pick a lane. That doesn't mean you can't.
It's nostalgia, but you should still watch it because it's good.
No, I mean I'm in the same boat. Like I want it to be cool, but I did a test, right? I tried to get my kid to watch it with me. She left.
You thought you were weird.
I tried to get my wife to watch it with me. She
He
left
also
the
thought
room.
you were weird and left you.
Yeah, and
Just
and
laugh, like actually just.
See, he's
the
assuming they left the room because of the movie.
Yeah.
There was something else in that room.
It was a copy of Mixed
common
Nuts. The DVD was there. It
Did
was
you
out in
make
the
them watch
open.
Mixed Nuts?
no, God, no,
No.
no.
No condo?
No, God, no.
Oh, God, no. I heard no condo.
No condo. That was an apartment.
No. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I did that experiment. I did it on purpose because I remember watching Ernest as a kid. I knew it was, really kind of focused towards kids or more like a family movie kind of thing. And if my family's not going to be willing to watch it with me, there's no way it's cool. I liked it. I think it's a very like cliche kind of, Christmas movie, but it was good. It had a well-written story arc. The actors acted well, and it's a kind of comedy that you don't get a lot of today, so it's nice in that regard. But I gotta say, it's nostalgia.
And there he is, while saying nostalgia, giving like a big compliment to his family because apparently his wife and daughter are his barometer of what is cool.
Yeah.
Too cool for this movie.
And that's why she doesn't watch this show.
Oh, jeez.
She doesn't watch it, does she?
Every now and then.
Again,
okay. Sometimes
again, Jeffrey,
we're better.
you're forgetting the factor. The Deuce is in the show also, so he's the common factor for everything.
I'm the uncool one.
They don't watch Ernest or Mixed Nuts or bother him to watch it because he was in the room and because he's on this podcast. They don't watch this. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
They just avoid
I
him
think
like
we're
the
analyzing
plague.
this a little too
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
We're going a little too deep here,
I
guys.
was just trying to say.
All right, Monaghan, round us out.
I'm just going to be pretty quick on this. I watched this movie after Mixed Nuts, so absolute cinema. Worst movie I have ever seen. We're done.
Okay. Committed to it.
Absolute cinema.
Absolute cinema.
That's what I'm saying. Like those are the only two movies I've seen all week.
Greatest movie I've ever seen.
Influences.
Never seen a better movie.
Mike, have you tried showing them Mixed Nuts first and then this movie? Maybe they'll love it.
Yeah, maybe they would love it.
You tie them down to the seat where they cannot leave Mixed Nuts, and then untie it and let them watch Ernest and see if they still get up.
So Mixed Nuts has to be like the movie we have all collectively hated the most out of this whole show.
Oh, by
that
far.
we've ever done.
By far. I
don't
I don't know what all
That was the
movies we've
first time
done,
I went,
but yeah.
oh, Nora. What are you doing,
this
Nora?
wasn't
It's
one of
what I
those
out loud
weird,
said
like-
as I watched that.
This wasn't one of those weird, terribly made 4.5 out of 10 IMDb sort of movies that are just like stupidly
I gave
made,
it a 2 out of
horribly
10.
made. Like this was
Like, literally,
just-
I went-
it
I
was-
think
two out
that's
of
what
10.
everyone
it
gave
was
it.
it was mean. It was mean spirited. It was tonal whiplash. It was like the storyline. What storyline really was there? Like there's no
even
like, the characters are
Seskel,
mostly.
I think Seskel and someone else were warning people, please don't read Sleepless in Seattle and try to go into this movie. Same director. This is terrible. Please don't. Like they were like trying to like as if it's a public advisory. Just don't go to this movie.
Yeah, the only reason I gave it a 2 out of 10 instead of a 1 out of 10 is because of Liev Schreiber.
Yeah.
That's the only reason it got an extra star beyond the
Madeline
minimum
Kahn
allowed.
I thought was like okay. I think she just was given terrible material.
I think she was told to amp it up and she went too far. Like you can't ever be at a 10 90% of the time.
Dude,
and
all
still
of them are knockout amazing movie stars and comedian specialists. You blame it on the director.
It was that generation's movie 43.
Okay, guys. Okay.
We gotta
stop the hate
Ernest.
train.
All right,
Bring us back.
This
All
out.
right.
Mike,
We're going to end the
bring us
podcast
home.
with We Hate Mixed Nuts.
These
Sorry
nuts.
to every actor that's in that movie,
I think they
but
all
it's
know.
atrocious.
I think they all know.
Yeah.
And because of that, Ernest Saves Christmas is a masterpiece. Total masterpiece.
There
He
you go.
saves Christmas because like Mixed Nuts and like, oh fuck, Ernest, you need to save Christmas.
Jeez. Well, guys, that was our second Christmas special and our first anniversary special. I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said earlier, if you enjoy what we put out, please subscribe, like the video, and until next time. We'll see
Happy
you later.
holidays.
All right.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays. Take care,
Later.
everybody.